Stadium, November the 7th, 2008. It's Friday Night Football on LSC, your local sports channel.
And hello, everybody. Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz down on the field, and Mr. Bob Killen up here in the booth with us doing the stats. I'll tell you what, tonight, quarterfinal action in the Eastern Region Football Championship says the undefeated and number 2 seeded Phoebus Phantoms will be taking on the 6-4 Churchland Truckers, the number 7 seed in the region. Well, here we are. The playoffs have started. It's going to be one of those games, I think, and if everything goes the way it's supposed to go, we should be playing again next week. What do you think?
Well, I agree. This is going to be a great game. It's the playoffs. It's what we've been heading for all season long. The Peninsula District, a very tough district. We've got some great teams. Tonight, Mike, Churchland finished the season, as you said, at 6-4. They made the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. The Truckers are coming into this game with a 3-game winning streak that has them playing at their best. And I'll tell you what, Mike, they're going to need to be at their best if they plan on sticking with Phoebus. It's never fun to go up against one of the top teams in the state. But with a stingy defense, the Truckers hope to do what nobody else has done this season, and that's beat the Phantoms. Can they make it 4 in a row? Can they pull off the upset? Well, not if Phoebus has anything to say about it. And so far this season, Phoebus has had their way in every game. A 10-0 record, a punishing defense, and an explosive offense that controls the game from start to finish. A team that appears to have a destiny with the state title. Can Phoebus continue their march to the title? Will they dominate Churchland like they have everyone else?
Well, you know, that's what we're here to find out. And you said destiny. Destiny is definitely what the Phoebus Phantoms are looking for. They want to be able to come in here this year and go back to where they lost it last year. And that's against a very strong Stonebridge team who right now is also in the playoffs. So that's the two teams we're really thinking is going to come together. But time will tell. We'll see. Let's send it down to the sidelines where Brent is ready to take care of business down there.
I'm here with head coach Bill D of the Phoebus Phantoms. Peninsula District Championship again this year and last year. And you've only lost one game, and that was in the playoffs last year. And here we are back to playoffs again. And for you, this has got to be like a second season. And my question is how do you get the guys start tuning up with this? Do you start with the first practice in the first game of the year, or do you change a notch or go up a notch when you get into the playoffs?
No, you don't change your routine. You just do what you've been doing to get here. I think the intensity always picks up when you're in a situation where you either win or go home. And the kids realize that. They've been here, every year, so they know that you can't take anybody lightly at this point. Everybody's had good seasons, and we got to play well.
Well, like I say, in the playoffs, and one of the things that's really standing out, and other coaches talked to us about, was the Phoebus defense this year. And instead of just asking a particular question, what do you see, or what do you think molds it so much? Your coaches, your players, they buy into your program. It's just a heck of a defense you've got going for you this year, Coach.
Well, Coach Narver does a great job coordinating defense, and we're all got our positions. So the coaching staff is on the same page. We've been together a long time. And then you got to have good players, and we have great leaders this year. The seniors are showing great leadership, and we just got a chemistry on that group that is really going well.
Well, it's very obvious when you see him on the field. It looks like one man moving the whole time to get to the ball. Some fast feet out there. Speaking of defense, tell me a little about Levante Battle, if you will.
Levante, he's been a 3-year starter for us. He's played a long time for us. He's gotten a little bigger this year, a little stronger. He's always been fast. He's always around the ball. He's had a couple interceptions for touchdowns this season. His pass drops have gotten better. He's always looking to be better, and he he's our speaking captain, and he's had an outstanding season, no question.
Well, let's get to tonight's game. First of all, tell me what you see in Churchland overall. Have you seen a team like them over here, or something that reminds us of them?
Well, something they do different is they'll get in a power I, similar to what we do, and then they'll get in the next play. They could be an empty. So they do a lot of different formations and a lot of motion, and then they'll just run at you. They don't run a lot of plays, but they're very good. Defensively, they've played good defense. They crowd the ball. They like the blitz. They play. I've seen a lot of man coverage, so they try to put pressure on you, and they've had an excellent season.
Just one last question. what players should we be looking at for Churchland? Who have you singled out you think is going to be the biggest threat for you?
Well, their quarterback is a good athlete. He's made some big plays for him, and number 15. And, their running back, number 8's a good athlete, 7. The coach's son is number 6. They seem to like to get him the ball. And their line's very big. Up front, they've got a good defensive line. They got 74, 76. They got some big kids up there.
Well, Coach, again, thank you for your participation in this, and congratulations on your Peninsula District Championship again, and we look forward to many more games. Thanks again. Guys, I'll send it back up to you, and let's see where we go from here.
All right, thanks, Brent. Let's send it down to the field where the Phoebus Phantom Band is now playing our national anthem. Back up here now. This very well could be a very interesting situation here. Both of these two teams have very distinctively different running attacks. Why don't you talk a little bit about both of these two teams' running attack?
Well, you're right, Mike. Churchland's ground game does not look as overwhelming as Phoebus's does. The running back is Brian Smith. He has 685 yards, according to Coach Cradle, on the season, with 10 touchdowns. Now, 8 of those touchdowns are rushing. The other 2 came on defense. He is the running game for the Truckers, but they've got 2 other runners that have over 500 yards. So together, they have a running game that is equivalent to anybody out there. They'll use Brian Smith when they need him, Mike, and tonight they're going to need him. Phoebus, we all know on this side, is one of the power running backs in the game. Sean Alston is second on the Peninsula District with 1,307 yards on 174 carries. He's got 24 touchdowns. He's a driving force that wears down defenses with punishing regularity. He averages 131 yards and 14 points a game. Mike, he's going to be hard to stop.
No doubt about that. And as we follow this game, we'll see just how it turns out. Let's send it down to the sideline now with Bob as he is down there for a nice interview.
All right, good. I've got Coach Cradle here from the Churchland Truckers. And Coach, first of all, congratulations on getting into the playoffs.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Now, from when you and I are talking, this is what, your second year head coach?
Yes, sir. This is my second year head coach, and I was assistant before when that Coach Haspel left for Grassfield. Yes, sir.
So, this has just been a dream come true for you, hadn't it?
Yes, sir. It's been a dream come true, and I wouldn't have won it any other way.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of your ball players. Craig Brooks, he's been a starter since a freshman at quarterback. Has had 575 yards rushing, over 700 yards passing. Tell me a little bit about this youngster.
Craig Brooks he's a wonderful young man. I've been with him. I've been here the whole time since he started. He's a hard worker. He gives you everything he got, and he leaves nothing. He brings nothing off the field, and he's just a good kid, and he's a joy to be around.
Well, a young man like that and becomes a leader. It's got to really help the whole team, doesn't it?
Oh yes, especially at the quarterback position, when you know that most of your offense and your team start with the quarterback, and we have a good quarterback.
Okay, now we'll talk a little bit about Brian Smith. Now this young man, first team all district on offense and second team on defense, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, he's a young man who has intercepted 2 passes, taken them back for touchdowns, but he's also a good runner.
Yes, sir. Brian Smith he gives you everything, offense, defense, special teams. He's that guy that doesn't say much, but he gets the job done.
That's the kind of guy you like on your team, isn't it?
All day long. If I had 11 more of him, I think we'll make a run at this thing.
All right, now Desmond Ware, another young man that runs in the backfield, about 450 yards rushing this year.
Yes, sir. Desmond Ware, he's a senior, and he's the workhorse. He does the pounding for us, and he's been in here at Churchland High School since I was assistant his sophomore year. His sophomore year, the kid just give you everything, man. He's one of those guys. He does it in the classroom and off the field, and you can't want it any other way.
Well, classroom is very important, and when you can say that about a young man who is a leader and on your field and does well in the classroom,
Yeah, damn leader.
It goes without saying. Last young man, Xavier Moore. This young man, big kid.
Yes, sir. Big kid, strong kid. Leads by example. Like I say, I have a lot of guys that don't take anything off the field. He's undersized, but he's given me everything I've ever needed, for a defensive tackle and an offensive guard.
He kind of leads the defensive line.
He leads the defensive line, and he's the heart of the defense, and he'll let you know when you're messing up.
That's kind of neat. Listen, got one last question for you, Coach. Coming in, playing the team that's undefeated. Phoebus is tough. They're just going to run right after you. What do you expect from them tonight? How are your team going to respond?
I expect them to, do what they do, run that power game that they do, that they're famous for. The only thing we got to do is stay consistent, and we'll stay in the first blow that come to us.
All right. Well, listen. Good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Yes, sir. And I thank you guys for having us.
Well, and we'll get you a copy of this tape too. All right. Listen, we're going to go to the sponsors, and then we're coming right back down here with Brent and myself.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.
Getting ready to do the kickoff here, folks, as the Phoebus Phantoms won the toss, deferred to the second half, and they will kick off to start the game as they will defend the east end zone here at Darlin Stadium. The Churchland Truckers will take over as they will take the kickoff. Here are your officials. Daryl Parsons is the referee. The umpire is John Rosarlo. The lineman is Mike Lowenberg. The line judge is C.J. Verrett. Side judge is Johnny Horton. The field judge is Tim Taylor. And the back judge is Rob Perkins. Here we go as the kickoff. And a seam right up the middle. And he breaks a few tackles. And he looks like he's going to get all the way down to the Phantoms' 36-yard line. Number 6 on the carry.
And here's your Churchland offense tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Left tackle number 74, Ali Scott. Left guard number 54, Derek Gray. The center number 50, Kimlot Morris. The right guard number 58, Xavier Moore. The right tackle number 56, Dominique Gwynn Bailey. The tight end number 4, Kevon Newsom. The wide receiver number 9, Cedric Cradle Jr. The other wide receiver number 7, Chris Coley. And number 12, Travis McClenny. The quarterback, the man to watch, number 15, Craig Brooks, and the running back, number 6, Brian Smith.
Craig Brooks, the quarterback, starts this possession 1st and 10 in the shotgun after a 55-yard kickoff return for the Truckers. Excellent field position to start the game. Throws the ball up in the air, and it was deflected, and it was intended for the Truckers' number 3, Devin Peterson. And I tell you what, Phoebus defense did a good job on that one.
And here is the defense for the Phantoms at the guards. Number 7, Taquan Romero, along with number 11, Demetrius Ward. The tackles, number 51, Charlie Jones, and number 62, Dominique Davenport. The linebackers, number 25, Chaz Robinson, number 32, Caleb Taylor, number 35, Levante Battle, and number 12, Paul Morant. The cornerbacks, number 27, Rasheed Clark, and number 5, Markel Wilkins. The free safety, number 38, Colby Goodwin.
Markel Wilkins on the defense on that first down. Second down and 10. Quarterback keeper up the middle gains a couple of yards on the play as he will get the ball down inside the 25, the 35, down to about the 33-yard line on the carry. That time, quarterback Craig Brooks for the Truckers.
So far, Mike, the Churchland Truckers are starting this game with a bang, a great run back on the kickoff. And right then, Phoebus got caught in a blitz that was able to be picked up by Churchland. They opened a nice lane for the running back and picked up some good yardage on that play.
Juan Romeo, number 7, on the stop for the Phantoms. Second down after a gain of 3. So third down and 7 right now. Craig Brooks again in the shotgun, hands the ball off. No, he keeps the ball and he's rolling to the right. He's bobbled up. Nice hit that time by the Phantoms. Leading the tackle on the play was number 79, Mike Davis. They got Sam Snow for the Phantoms.
That's what they're going to have to watch out for, Mike, as we watch the replay here. Craig Brooks is not only a good quarterback when it comes to passing the ball, he can run. He kind of reminds me of the quarterback for the Kecoughtan Warriors. He's dangerous. He can run it. He can throw it.
Gain of about 2 on the play. We'll call it 4th down and 5, as it looks like they're getting set to kick a field goal. Number 43 is the kicker, and that's Matthew Stanek. This will be a 47-yard field goal attempt. The hole, the kick is down. It's long enough. Is it high enough? No, just short underneath the crossbar, as the Phoebus Phantoms defense holds on the Churchland Truckers' first drive of the night, and the Phoebus will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
Well, Churchland comes out strong here tonight, Mike. They show the Phoebus Phantoms that they can move the ball. They moved it on the kickoff. They moved it on the ground. And that young man there that just attempted that field goal, as you noted, a strong leg. That one had the distance. It just didn't quite have the height. Now we're going to see the vaunted Churchland defense, a team that only allows 12.6 points per game, only allows 177 total yards a game. The defense is what got them here, Mike. Let's see if it can keep them here.
There's a stoppage in play right now as the officials are now talking to Phantoms.
There's the field. He got a little back on that one, Mike. Didn't get enough of the ball. He got under it too much.
Dodge Boyd is the quarterback. Underneath the center. Takes the snap. Hands the ball off to Austin off the left side. Nice hole. Breaks the tackle, and look out. He's down inside the 45-yard line of Truckers.
All right, here's the offense for the Phoebus Phantoms. The left guard, number 62, Dominique Davenport. The left tackle, number 51, Charlie Jones. The center, number 52, Vic Gaither. The right tackle, number 60, Antonio Christian. And the right guard, number 50, Jaquan Hogan. The split end, number 2, Oman Newkirk. The flanker, number 5, Markel Wilkins. And the tight end, number 7, Daquan Romero. The quarterback, the dangerous number 10, Taj Boyd. The fullback, the bruising number 25, Chaz Robinson. And the all-do-it man, number 22, the tailback, Sean Alston.
35-yard gain on first down play by Alston. Here's Alston on the exact same play again. Breaks 2 tackles, and he gets all the way down inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line. Another big gain of about 16 yards.
And here's the Churchland defense. The defensive end, number 4, Kevon Newsom. The defensive tackle, number 58, Xavier Moore, along with number 74, Ali Scott. The other defensive end, number 56, Dominique Gwynn Bailey. The linebackers, number 40, Rodney Jones, along with number 30, Desmond Ware. The roving linebacker, number 7, Chris Coley. The cornerbacks, number 6, Brian Smith, and number 12, Travis McClenny. The safety, number 5, Marvell Edmondson, and the free safety, number 15, Craig Brooks.
Austin's got over 50 yards rushing already just in 2 carries. This one is to the lead back, and I believe that's Chaz Robinson, number 25, up the middle. Short gain on the play, maybe a yard. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 from about the 28-yard line of the Churchland Truckers.
You know, most people compare the beginning of a football game to a good boxing match where they come out and just kind of spar with each other a little bit. These two teams that come out throwing the punches, Mike, they are out there playing some ball.
Well, you know, the Churchland was aided, obviously, on the opening kickoff with a 55-yard kickoff return to get the ball down into Phoebus' territory, and the Phantoms' defense took over from there. 2nd down and 9 is the call. Back to pass is Boyd down the right sideline, and it is overthrown to the intended receiver, Markel Wilkins, on the play. Covering on the play was number 5, Marvell Edmondson. Incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and 9 for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Great idea by the Phantoms on that play, a simple hitch and go. Taj Boyd dropped back, spotted his receiver, gave the fake. The receiver made the turn, and then boom, just tried to blow right by the cornerback. Nice little pass by Boyd, just couldn't get it to the man.
Oh, 3rd down now and long for the Phantoms. Their first 3rd down opportunity here as Boyd is in the shotgun. Chaz Robinson in motion. Here's a screen play over the middle, and it was intended for number 7, Daquan Romeo, and it went right through his hands. He may have thrown that one just a bit hard that close up.
I think you're exactly correct there because Daquan was wide open. You'll watch him here on the left side of your screen as Boyd goes back. There he is right in front of the ref.
It looks like the Phoebus Phantoms are going to call a timeout here. 4th down and 9 with the ball rest at the 28-yard line.
Timeout.
We're scoreless here in the first quarter of play at 8:06 remaining here in the first. No score.
You're watching LSC, Local Sports Channel, bringing you the Phoebus Phantoms and the Churchland Truckers in the first round of the Eastern Region Playoffs. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser up in the booth, along with this man right here.
That's
the man that dresses so well.
Brent Musgrove.
You stand beside him and he makes you look good. Speaking of looking good, Monique on the camera today. She's come out to help us.
All she needs to do is look a little bit to her
there
left and wave. There you go.
Thank you, Monique.
All right, 4th down. Looks like the Phantoms will go as Boyd will set up in the shotgun. Split to his left is Owen Austin. 3 wideouts to the far side of the field. Snap back to throw is Boyd. Sets up, throws down the middle. It was in and out of the arms of the intended receiver, number 2, Omen Newkirk.
There's Rick Powell, all smiles for us tonight. And it's not cold out there, is it, Rick?
So the Phoebus Phantoms unable to convert on a 4th and 8 as the...
So the Truckers hold.
Now, Mike, I'm interested in something. On this pass play, you'll notice that Taj Boyd throws into double coverage, which is not something he normally does, and you've got a man behind him. He was covered, but if he'd have got the pass to the outside toward the sidelines, might have had a better opportunity there. I'm just not sure why he was throwing into double coverage. As you see some of the fans.
Churchland takes over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. 8:01 to go here in the opening period of play. In the shotgun again, the quarterback is Craig Brooks. Snap, drops back, and throw the ball, being flushed out of the pocket to the near side and forced out of bounds by the Phantoms, number 35 on that play, and that's Levante Battle. That was close. That was close to being a hit outside, out of bounds, and then we might be able to see that a little bit better here.
You can see Brooks looking, a testament to the good coverage by the secondary of the Phantoms. He heads for the sidelines where he's run down by Levante Battle.
Hit right on the sideline, so that's a good play. No gain on the play. We'll call that 2nd down and 10 as he is forced out of bounds where the line of scrimmage was. Out of the Phantoms sideline. 2nd 10 from the 28. Again in the shotgun as it looks like that's going to be a recurrence all night. Craig Brooks. Three wideouts, or four wideouts, three of them to the near side. They got the field spread pretty good. Well, they had him there, and he came back on it. Passes incomplete, or it was completed to, looks like number 6 on the play, Brian Smith, but there's flags all over the place. At least 3 of them on the ground.
On this replay, it looks like they were going to get to him. You couldn't see it on the screen, but you had one defender who came in, just stopped.
Like the penalty is against Churchland. I did not see the what the actual call was.
Ineligible.
Ineligible man downfield.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still, second down.
Second down and 15 now for Churchland as they're backed up 5 yards after the ineligible man downfield.
There's some Phoebus boosters right there in the big crowd we have out there tonight, watching their Phantoms as they play the Churchland Truckers.
Set up now. They have 5 wideouts, 3 to the near side, 2 to the top of the screen. Brooks takes the snap, backs up, tosses the ball. It is completed for a gain of about 8 as the receiver is number 7 on the play, and that's Chris Conley. About a 7-yard gain on it.
Number 7, Chris Conley, nice pattern he runs to come back to get the ball. He really got up. Good hands to hang on to it.
Call it third down and about 6 now for Churchland. Same setup this time, 3 wideouts to the near. 1 split all the way to the sideline here, 2 to the far side. Brooks again in the shotgun. Takes the snap, backs up. Sets, throws down the middle of the field, and it's completed right over the middle of the field to the Truckers, Brian Smith, number 6. There is a flag down.
Here's the replay as we watch Craig Brooks as he tosses this one again into double coverage here, but a nice catch by number 6, Brian Smith.
That's probably a block in the back on Churchland right there.
We have a completed pass, block in the back, number 12, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
Did he actually give the player's number?
Yes, he did.
I didn't think we were allowed to do that. Catch was good for a first down, and it looks like they are going to continue with a first down. The ball is marked back at midfield. Nice pass play right over the middle of the field, and a good catch by number 6, Brian Smith, and it's good for a first down. They'll back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul, but they'll maintain first down here. First and 10 at midfield. Again, the same setup. 5 total receivers out, 3 to the near, 2 to the far side. Back to pass. Short pass over the middle, completed at the 45, and down he goes inside the 45-yard line as he's tackled by Phoebus Phantoms number 50, Jaquan Hogan.
Watch this nice pass here to Brian Smith. Brian Smith is running some good patterns. He's getting loose. He's 5'11", 170 pounds. He's a senior. He's quick, and he's got some good hands, Mike. Try.
Gain of 7, second down and 3. Keeper this time as the quarterback goes up the middle. He's just shy of the 40, so he will be about a half a yard shy of the first down. That's going to bring up a third down.
Even though Churchland runs on this play, Mike, with a simple quarterback keeper, they're out here and they're telling Phoebus, we're going to throw on you, and we're going to throw on you, and we're going to throw on you, and you're going to have to stop us. With a quarterback like Brooks who can run the ball, this could be a very dangerous night for the Phantoms.
It looks like the quarterback on that play was number 6, Brian Smith again, as I believe he actually ran the last one. He's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play and a first down as they now have a first and 10 at the Phantoms. 37-yard line, and the Truckers right now are moving the ball through the air and on the ground.
Yes, they're moving it really well against this normally tough Phoebus Phantom defense.
Valente Roscoe looks like number 8 is now in there at the quarterback spot. In motion is number 7. That's Chris Conley. Flag is thrown by the back judge, and that usually means delay a game.
Dead ball, delay. Number 6 on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Five-yard penalty on the play, as the quarterback on that play he called was number 6, Brian Smith. So we're going to have to watch this.
Yeah, they're mixing it up here, Mike. They've had 3 quarterbacks, or they've actually put Brian Smith in the quarterback slot. Run out of that, brought another quarterback in, and of course they used Brooks. And once again, it looks like, what, number 8?
Valente Roscoe is the quarterback again. First and 15 after the 5-yard delay penalty. And the ball off to the back, up the middle, wide open. Nice gain. That is number 6, Brian Smith, as he's going to pick up about 17 yards on the play as he gets the ball down inside of the Phantoms' 25-yard line, where they will have a 1st and 10.
Mike, watch the front line. They are dominating the Phoebus defense right now. They're blocking down on them. They're getting them out of the way. They're holding them back, and they're opening up huge holes for the runners. And Churchland is taking advantage of it.
6 on the play, and that is Brian Smith. That he is the starting running back. So they're flip-flopping the quarterbacks on the play. Actually, Craig Brooks hasn't been in much on this particular set of downs.
Oh, he hasn't. They're showing a lot of different schemes here, and this time not much on the running play. The Phoebus defense held up that time.
Gain of about a half a yard. We'll still call it 2nd down and 10, though, for Churchland, as the ball sits again about on the 24-yard line. And now that is Cedric Cradle. No, that's number 8. That is the quarterback. Now, Valente Roscoe, he is, I guess, the second quarterback that they normally use. Pass.
And you got to wonder at this point, Mike, Craig Brooks not in there, number 15 at quarterback. Is he okay? Or is this normally how they run it with 3 or 4 different quarterbacks?
We'll have a good time here trying to figure out which quarterback's in there a lot tonight, because with their uniforms, it's hard to see that number. Looks like, is it number 8 that's in there now? Valente Roscoe again is the quarterback, or is it? I guess it's 8.
Looks like 8 from here on the screen.
Hands the ball off to 6, and that is Brian Smith. Not much there doing, as he might pick up a yard at the most, as he gets the ball down to about the 23-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 9, make it 4th and 8.
Number 7, Daquan Romero, right there, comes off his left side and is able to grab the runner before he gets any appreciable yardage.
Like the Churchland Truckers will attempt a field goal again, this time from the 30. It'll be a 43-yard attempt with Matthew Stenick kicking the field goal attempt here. Down is blocked by the Phantoms. Recovered by Churchland, but the Phantoms will take over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Good penetration by the front line of Phoebus that time. Let's watch this there from the ground level.
Look at this as they coming in from this side. Watch right here, the leap, the arms from the left and the center. Boom, all over that ball. Great shot by our fantastic camera crew out there today, Mike.
That looked like Jaquan Hogan, number 50, on the block, as he came right through the line and had absolutely no trouble blocking that one. So the Phantoms block the field goal and take over. And here's Austin again on the left side. Breaks free for about 12 yards on the play as he is brought down. It looks like number 24 on the play, I believe, and that is Kenneth Wright. A gain of about 12. 1st and 10 for the Phoebus Phantoms.
Watch Alston again is just a great runner to watch. He finds the holes. He slides through. He keeps his legs driving. He's a tough runner to bring down. He's going to pick up some yardage tonight.
1st and 10 from their own 48. No score here in the first quarter, down to 2:05 to go. Alston again on the left side. They found a hole over here. That's another 11 or 12 yards as he's near the Churchland 40.
Well, Mike, as we know, we've watched these guys play all year on the left side. You got Dominique Davenport and you got Charlie Jones. All you got to do is get behind those two guys and walk, basically.
Again,
they're going to open up the holes.
Kenneth Wright again on the stop for the Truckers. So right now, the Phantoms having no trouble at all running the ball, especially to the left. This side straight up the middle, and he is going to pick up about 5 on the play as he gets down near the 36-yard line. Sean Alston again.
But, you know, Mike, this is what we've seen from both teams so far. In between the 30s, you're getting a lot of movement, a lot of open runs, a lot of open passes, but they get down to the 30 on either side, the defense buckles down.
I'll predict a score on this possession. There's Alston again to the left. Good yardage inside the 30 down to the 29-yard line, a gain of about 7 on the play. That'll bring a 1st and 10 for the Phoebus Phantoms as they continue to march down the field.
Timeout, Churchland.
Churchland has called timeout. That'll leave 2 timeouts for each team here in the first half as we're down to a minute 24 to go here in the first quarter. And, guys, no score.
No score at all from Darling Stadium as you're watching LSC Local Sports Channel. If you're watching us on cable TV, which I hope you are, you're watching us on Cox Cable Channel 48. And this is a taped broadcast from November the 7th, Friday. This is the playoffs, the first game set in the playoffs between the Churchland Truckers and the Phoebus Phantoms.
When they expanded the field last year to 8 teams, they have a quarterfinal game now instead of a semifinal. So the winner of this game will advance to play the semifinal game next week. And obviously that'll be against a team that will be determined later. Shortly we'll get Andy to put up the graph that shows the playoffs scheme for this year, and also the teams that are seated in there. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line for the Phantoms. Dodge Boyd hands the ball off to Sean Alston again up the middle for about 5 as he gets inside the 25 down near the 24-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, 2nd down and 5 for the Phoebus Phantoms. We have a special guest that just showed up.
This is where the Truckers are going to get tough, as we've seen them throughout the game so far. Their defense is very good. They only allow 177 yards per game at about 12.5 points. So this defense is tough as it gets down here. We're going to have to see if the Phantoms can move this ball more.
Here's Alston again. Loses a step this time. Picks up maybe a yard, and that's about it. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 3 for the Phantoms. Got a special guest up here at the end of the quarter. Oh, come on.
Oh, look at one of our fans. Hi. I hope you're enjoying the game. What a cute young little girl. Taj Boyd, number 10, going back to the huddle. Once again, you're watching LSC, the local sports channel. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser, Brent Musgrove up in the booth.
And we do have a score. Bethel 7, Western Branch 0 in the first. All right. And off the Boyd off the left side, and he will get inside the 20-yard line, but he's going to be a little bit short of the 1st down. That will bring up a 4th down and about 1 for the Phantoms.
I say go for it.
Oh, absolutely, here.
Say go for it.
Well, they do have a kicker that can do the job.
Oh, yeah. But they got a runner that can do the job, too.
Well, we've come to the end of the first quarter of play. No score here from Darling Stadium. Let's send it down to the sideline where Bob has a guest.
Thanks, guys. I've got Scott Allen. He's a trainer for the Phantoms tonight. You're from Centera, right?
Yes, I am. Basically, we have a contract with Hampton City Schools, and we have athletic trainers in all 4 Hampton schools.
What is it you're looking to do out here tonight?
Basically, I'm trying to allow my players to play the game of football safely. Anything I can do to help them out in the field and help them ease their minds with injuries, let them know what I think can and can't go, and help prevent anything that I can prevent. Help my team win in any way I can.
Well, good enough. You must really enjoy it. You get to see some good football, too.
I love my job. I love my kids. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Good enough. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go back upstairs to the guys.
Well, let me show you a stat that it's really mind-boggling here. In the first quarter play, we have no score, right?
Yes.
Sean Austin has carried the ball 10 times for 96 yards.
And you would think, since the field's 100 yards long, that he should have gotten in there once.
All right, 4th down and 1 for the Phantoms, just inside of the Churchland 20. Key play here defensively for the Truckers. Ball is handed off right straight up the middle to, I believe, that was not Austin on the carry. It might have been Chaz Robinson. That's who it was, Chaz Robinson.
Watch this. This is going to be close, Mike.
They are giving them the first down. So he got just enough for the first down. So the Phantoms will have a 1st and 10 from about the 18-yard line as they continue to drive here at the beginning of the second quarter. Again, no score here from Darling Stadium. There's a handoff to Austin over the right side this time. Good yardage down near the 11-yard line. See where the officials mark it.
Well, Mike, you get Austin down in the red zone, and this young man smells pay dirt. Watch him. Watch the legs. Watch the legs keep moving and driving. Right here, good slow-mo shot where he gets that hole, drives the legs, picks up another 3 yards on the play.
Gain of 6 on the play, and Brian Smith for the Truckers on the stop. There's, again, handoff this time straight up the middle to Austin, down near the 10-yard line. Might pick up about 2. That's going to leave the Phantoms with about a 3rd and 2. As they continue this drive here early in the second quarter play, just under 11 minutes to go.
Don't know whether you saw some of the defense there a minute ago, Mike. Churchland has a defensive tackle, Richard Coles, 6'4", 400 pounds is the listing on the sheet. If you look out there at number 76 on these plays, 6'4", 400 pounds.
Austin over the left side, inside the 5, going for the goal line. Touchdown, Phantoms! What a great play on the side, on the outside of the tackle, right inside. Sean Austin goes all the way in as he drags the defender into the end zone as the Phantoms hit pay dirt here at the beginning of the second quarter, and they now lead 6-0 over the Churchland Truckers.
Determination and drive as Sean Austin knows where the end zone is and how to get there. He follows that front line that's blocked for him all year long.
Eric Crocker out of the hold of Paul Morant's kick is up and good. There is a flag on the play. It looked like one of the Churchland players came on the field a bit late and didn't quite get there in time.
Well, we've got a quick little break here, ladies and gentlemen. The second quarter of this game is sponsored by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is the place for all your hard-to-find hardware needs, including electrical, plumbing, and painting. And by Zooms, with great service and convenient locations throughout the peninsula that can save you time and money. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining and delicious food. Join them for lunch or dinner at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News or on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Call David Chubb or Terry McNamara at 594-0411.
It was funny watching the replay right there. You could see the Churchland player running on the field, and he was late, but the officials actually pulled the flag up and waved it off. So the extra point is good as the Phantoms. Here's the replay. Watch the player running across it, and he did not make it across the line by the time the ball was snapped. So Churchland will now receive the kickoff as Eric Crocker will tee it up for the Phantoms as the Phantoms lead by a score of 7-0 here. 10:33 to go here in the second quarter of play. Phantoms strike first here in the quarterfinals of the Eastern Region Football Championships. Short kick over to the far side, bobbled by the returner at about the 18, picks the ball up, gets good yardage outside of his own 30-yard line down to about the 33-yard line as it looked like number 6 on the play that time. Brian Smith picks it up and gets good return after he drops it. Look at the replay.
Very impressed with this young man, Mike. 5'11", 170 pounds. Not a big guy, but quick, very quick, knows how to find a hole.
A couple of good moves right there to allow him to pick up a few extra yards and miss a tackle or two. 1st and 10 for Churchland at their own 33-yard line as they now trail the Phoebus Phantoms 7-0. Back to pass over the middle. Down the right sideline, a bit overthrown. It looked like the intended receiver that time was Brian Smith. And I believe the quarterback on that play was Walante Roscoe. And I tell you what, they keep switching guys back there in the backfield. It's going to be hard to tell who's actually doing the quarterbacking tonight.
Well, it's the guy with the ball.
Well, he's the guy that usually takes the snap, right?
Yeah, normally.
And right now they've used, 3? But the starting quarterback, Craig Brooks, has not been in the game since about midway of the second series that they have had. Behind quarterback is Roscoe again. Back to pass, a screen play set up nicely. Nothing doing there, though, as the Phantoms read that one quite nicely. Pass was completed to number 9, Cedric Cradle. By the way, the coach's son. Not much there as he looks like he gets back to about the line of scrimmage at the 33. That will bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Churchland Truckers. Do you see the original quarterback over there?
I am looking through the field glasses here on the field and on the sidelines, and I cannot find a number 15 over there anywhere.
3rd down and 10 again. That's Roscoe is the quarterback in the shotgun. Takes the snap, back to pass. Gets flushed out of the pocket. Throws the ball over to the far sideline, and the ball was dropped right in the hands. Chris Cooley was the intended receiver, and it went right through his hand, and that was good for a 1st down. It would have been good for a 1st down as it goes right in and out of his arms. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 10 as Churchland will now attempt a punt.
And, Mike, I just got some information from Bob down on the field that Brooks got hit hard on an earlier play, and he might be in the locker room at this time. He's not on the field.
Markel Wilkins down at his own 35-yard line awaiting the punt. Line drive punt short. It was tipped by one of the rushing Phantoms as it will be down by Churchland inside their own territory at about the 48-yard line where Phoebus will take over 1st and 10. What you got there?
On the punt, nothing on the return.
What is it?
Still 7-0 Bethel.
Second quarter. Second quarter, I believe they're playing Western Branch, right? Bethel Bruins out in front of Western Branch, 7-0.
And just so everyone will know, we have an extra reporter up in the booth with us right now giving that information, and that's
You've been
Dr.
called
Rousseau.
worse, right?
He's getting us the information on the Hampton schools as they play tonight.
1st and 10 Phoebus at the Truckers' 48-yard line. Flags are down. It looks like Churchland may have 12 players out there. Let's count them. They do have that. They've got 12 guys on the field.
Churchland, before the flag.
Say I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Said, no.
It looks like Churchland called timeout.
Oh, look at that. Where was it? I've seen 2 or 3 of our LS. There's one right there. See the little football clacker with that young man in the New York Yankee hat? There you go. LSC clacker right there. Local
I didn't
sports
get one
channel.
of those.
I do. I'm saving that, man. That's going to be an artifact
I did get
one
one
day.
of those little footballs, though. The
Oh, did you?
What are you shaking your head no for?
You didn't get one? Would you like me to bring you one for Christmas?
I didn't get one of those football clackers. I'm disappointed.
I'm sorry, I did. I'm going to put it under glass, frame it, keep it. It's going to be, worth some money one day. Yeah.
I could get one for a buck. I hear you. All right, after the timeout by Churchland, I guess the timeout would stop the fact that they had 12 players on the field. I'm not sure how they could call timeout with 12 players after the flag has been thrown, but they were awarded that. So Taj Boyd back to pass over the middle. Its pass is completed all the way down to about the 12-yard line as it was completed to Daquan Romeo. Outstanding step back throw pitch right in his hands on the run. Great pass
by Taj
Boyd.
That time Taj Boyd kept it out of double coverage. He threw it to the outside of the receiver and the outside of the cornerback. Great catch by Romero.
Brian Smith on the stop. That saved a touchdown, and I tell you what, he couldn't have been much better than that. Right over the right shoulder.
That's one of those catches where you like to see it because it's just so smooth.
Austin follows his tacklers down inside the 5 to about the 2.
Watch the legs. Watch the drive on Austin, and look at the blocks he gets, Mike. I don't know why I'm telling you to watch. We watch him do this all year long. We watch the line do it all year long.
He's close to a first down. Let's see where they actually mark it. And right now the officials have stopped the clock to decide whether they want to give him a first down or timeout by the officials for measurement. New update.
Bethel High School 14-0
over Western Branch. That is a Division VI quarterfinal matchup over on the south side.
14-0, and I understand the crowd from Bethel High School is just tremendously large.
Outstanding. Here is the measurement, and it looks like he is going to be about a football length short. That'll bring up a second down and a foot. Inside the 5-yard line as the Phantoms are getting set to try to put this one a little further out. Already leading 7-0. 8:31 to go here in the second quarter of play.
I put the ball in Austin's hands one more time here.
To the left side. That's been very successful tonight.
Hey, either side's successful for him. He can do it. But
most of his yards have been to the left side tonight.
Well, that's where you've got not that I'm, Davenport and Jones on the left side, Christian and Hogan on the right side, Gaither up in the middle. Those guys can really play. But I think I'd go behind Jones. Davenport might be in the backfield this time. Watch for him as well.
Boyd hands the ball off to, looks like Davenport up the middle this time. He's going to get maybe a yard. That might be enough for the first down, and that's all they needed was a foot. So let's see where they mark it. And it is a first down, so it'll be first and goal for the Phantoms down at about the 2-yard line. That was, what do they call that?
That's called the elephant.
Elephant.
That's called the elephant when they put Dominique Davenport in the backfield.
And he got just enough to get the inside the 2-yard line to get a first and goal. Austin on the carry up the middle near the goal line. Touchdown, Phoebus. And Sean Austin scores his second touchdown of the night right up the middle. So now the Phoebus Phantoms are out in front 13-0 with 8:04 to go here in the second quarter of play. And in to kick the extra point now is Eric Crocker out of the hold of number 12, Paul Morant.
This is what we're used to seeing, Mike. Run, run, run. Hard blocking, good blocking, driving down the field, wearing down that defense.
Crocker's kick. There's a snap down, up, long enough, through the upright, and a Crocker got hammered after the kick, but no flag on the play. The extra point is good, so the Phantoms now lead 14-0. I tell you, I can't believe it wasn't a flag thrown on that one. Well, let's watch the replay of it.
A little bit of a bad snap there, and it was a little bit of a hesitation putting the ball down. He's lucky it wasn't blocked. He made a nice kick just through there. Nice kick. Nice kick.
Was that an award on that one?
I didn't see him go down. Coach D probably feeling a little bit better now that he's got 14 points on the board. But
see if they can give us the stats on Austin for the night here midway through the second quarter. 8:04 to go here at Darland Stadium.
We're getting information from the sideline in the truck now that Coach D might be a little upset because the holder was knocked down. And There's an indication that that might supposed to be a penalty. Let's see. Oh, man.
That's 15 carries, 126 yards. They've only been playing for a quarter and a half, and he's got 2 touchdowns already. Here we go as the Phantoms will kick off from their own 40, deep down the middle of the field. As the Truckers let the ball go, and it's picked up inside the 1. It looked like it was number 9 on the pickup that time, Cedric Cradle, as he gets down to about the 14, and that's where he goes down.
That ball just went right through both of the back men, and for some reason, watch the replay here, they just kind of looked at it and said, okay, whoops, I got to go get the ball, because if it dies right here, somebody's going to get it.
That's a play you should have let go, because it looked like it might have gone into the end zone. They would have ended up getting the ball
His
at the
foot
20.
was right on the line, but I'm like you. I thought 1 or 2 bounces, that ball would have been in the end zone.
If you showed the replay one more time when you get a chance, you'll notice that the referee was standing right there looking to see if that foot hit that goal line, because that's all it would have taken. 1st and 10 with the ball sitting at about the 14-yard line for Churchland. 3 wide outs to the near side, 2 to the far. Back to pass. Being flushed out of the pocket. Down it goes. He dropped the ball, and it rolls out of bounds. How lucky could that be for Churchland? A big loss, but that could have been disastrous for the Churchland Truckers on that play. Watch him just drop it.
Romero, number 7.
Oh, he did get hit.
Almost gets the ball, just can't corral it. He's going, oh, man.
Was that Demetrius Ward that hit him?
I think it was number 11. I was watching. I
thought he just
Romero.
dropped the ball. Excellent play on the play that time by the Phantoms defense. Big loss on the play of about 10. That will bring up a 2nd down and 20 for the Churchland Truckers, as they are deep inside their own 5-yard line.
I think they're beginning to feel the loss of Brooks here now, Mike.
The defense on the Phantom side, and there is a fumble on the handoff, and it looks like the Truckers quarterback actually was able to get the ball back, and he did. And it looks like Brian Smith was quarterbacking on that play for the Truckers. They will lose about 3 yards on the play, as they now have a 3rd down and a bunch back on the 1.
There's
Watch
a
the ball get
replay.
dropped.
And you can see he put it right in the running back's arms, and it just came right back out and onto the ground. It was good reflexes on Smith's part to get that ball. They're hurting with that quarterback not being there.
Timeout White, go timeout White.
Like there might have been a
timeout.
Churchland. So Churchland calls their last timeout here in the first half, as they already trailed 14-0. 7:14 to go here in the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 23 with the ball down at their own 1.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Friday Night Football from Darling Stadium on LSC Local Sports Channel, as we bring you the playoffs, the Phoebus Phantoms and the Churchland Truckers. We're going to try and get the doctor in here. He's in the house.
I figured sooner or later we could coax him up here. How you doing there?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Russo?
How you doing tonight?
Having a blast right now.
Well, it's a great evening.
Have a chair.
That's all right. That's all right, Paul. You sit down. I think Phoebus is just getting warmed up.
The loss of their quarterback is really hurting them right now.
Well, I mean, Phoebus is too good a team to really not show their offense, and the defense has been very stifling tonight. And of course, it's great to see this happening, as well as Bethel's up 14-0 in their game. So
absolutely,
good things happening.
And tomorrow, if you don't know, if some of you folks don't know, the Hampton Crabbers will be hosting the game right here at 12 noon, as they will be playing the Braves from Indian River. Here we go, 3rd down and 23 from the 1. And it looks like they might be able to pick up 5 on that one if that one goes against the Bruins. Looks like he jumped, but let's see who. Looks like it might have been a false start too.
Yeah, I think he was drawn offside. If you watch the right side of your screen there, you'll see. Yeah, there he is. He's moving right there.
Yeah, but it could have been coaxed over by the defense, and I'm not sure what that ruling would be here.
Ruling is if you don't go over the line, then you're okay. But if the offense moves, they're not okay.
Well, they just called encroachment on the defense.
3rd down.
How about that? So he must have gone over. We're looking at it from an angle here.
That's a pretty good shot right there.
I got you, son. I got you.
Absolutely. His hand almost touched the line before it was snapped. So encroachment, give him 5 yards back with a pass over the middle. Oh, for just. And I tell you what, that was just barely overthrown. It really was. That was intended for, I believe, Brian Smith, number 6, and that we've been using that man's name all night here.
Yeah, but watch, he throws this into a host of defenders, and he's lucky it was not intercepted. That ball was tipped, and you had 2 other players out there, including Colby Goodwin, that could have intercepted that ball.
So 4th down and 18 for Churchland, is they're going to have to punt the ball from deep in their own territory. Actually, they'll be punting from out of the end zone.
They're going to have to be careful, Mike, because Phoebus has been penetrating the backfield. If they get a good rush here, they could block this punt.
Matthew Stanek back to punt the ball. Markel Wilkins, one of the players back there. Well, they could have had a block on that one. He actually gave it up. Punt's taken at the 40-yard line, brought back to the near side, and that is number 38 on the carry, Colby Goodwin, as he takes the ball down to about the 25-yard line. We'll wait to see where they mark it, but excellent field position for the Phantoms to start this drive. 6:55 to go here. Defense is tough, aren't they?
Well, they've been tough all year, really, guys. We know that, and Phoebus has got an outstanding team, as does Bethel and Hampton High School, so I think all 3 of our teams that made the playoffs are going to be in the hunt. It's a great return. Went right down the sideline there.
He's a youngster. I think you're going to see him as the running back next year for the Phantoms. He's a junior this year, Colby Goodwin, and he's played a couple of times when Alston was out, and they didn't miss a beat at all.
Oh, he's a very good running back. There's a pitch to Colby Goodwin as he sweeps to the left, gets outside around 10 yards. We'll wait to see where they mark it. Looks like at about the 15. That might be enough for a first down. So about an 11-yard gain that time by Colby Goodwin.
Here's the young kid we were just talking about, Dr. Russo.
Watch
this block by number 25, Robinson. Colby turns the corner. And Phoebus is just going to keep right on moving next year. They have all the pieces to the puzzle. They just plug them in. And great program over there under Coach Bill D, Dr. Russo.
Bill has done a great job of building the program at Phoebus over his 18 years or so. I'm not really sure. And that's pretty consistent to what
we tried to get him to count how many district titles he's had. And he says, I don't know. This is the only one that matters. And you're right. There's a delayed handoff to Goodwin off the left, down the middle, in for the score. So Colby Goodwin will go 13 yards in for the score, and they will extend the Phantom lead now to a score of 20-0.
Watch this hurdle by Goodwin as the blockers on Phoebus got everybody trapped right there, and Goodwin just hurdles everyone, and he's open. Another nice block by DeQuan Romero to allow Colby Goodwin to get into the end zone, and Phoebus is on a roll now, guys.
Now, slow first quarter, but look out here in the second quarter as they are really putting it up.
Rooting along, and all the Phoebus administration. But what was really amazing about that run is, did you see how he changed directions, moving to the left real quick? That's just instinct and natural God-given ability.
Rocker for the extra point, kicks up long enough and true. It is good. So with 6:15 to go here in the second quarter of play, the Phoebus Phantoms now lead the Churchland Truckers 21-0.
From Darling Stadium on November the 7th, 2008, you're watching LSC Local Sports Channel as we bring you Friday Night Football. Here's the extra point.
Looks like that.
Watch this. Look at that block. Look at the movement. Dr. Russo pointed out it was a quick move to the left.
You know, I tell you, the weather is absolutely outstanding for a football game here because, you got a beep there? Well, he's checking his phone because he might have an update of the Bethel game.
Oh, I thought he was
we'll let you know.
I thought he was trying to flex his knees because he might. Oh, no. The referees over at the stadium just called back a 98-yard touchdown by Bethel due to a penalty.
Wow. Hey, at least the other team hasn't scored. They're still up, right?
Yes, they're still up 14-0.
Rockers kickoff is short. Taken at the 17-yard line by the Truckers' number 9. Cedric Cradle on the carry as he gets down to about the 34-yard line, where the Churchland Truckers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line.
Low kind of a squib kick here, and not a bad run back. You pick up a few yards, get in position to where you can have something to work with.
Rashid Clark on the stop for the Phantoms. First and 10.
Before you leave, do you know if Jontel Evans is playing tonight, Dr. Rousseau, for the Bethel Bruins? It was supposed to be a game-time decision. Oh, he had a
crack reporter on the scene, right?
A broken hand, and I wanted to see if he was in there. He's a great young man, very nice young man.
6:08 to go here in the second quarter. 21-0 Phoebus. First and 10 for Churchland. Back to pass. Over, down on the right sideline, and overthrown, and Colby Goodwin with the interception at about the Phantoms' 43-yard line as that ball was overthrown, and I believe it was intended for number 6, Brian Smith.
Well, once again, the lack of your normal quarterback in there. Phoebus with some great cornerbacks and safeties. This ball just flat overthrown, and Colby Goodwin playing center field picks that one off without a problem.
So now Colby Goodwin has kind of taken over defensively. He's also got that touchdown offensively there in the second quarter. Just had one a little while ago. So here we go. First and 10, Phoebus after the turnover at their own 43-yard line. Taj Boyd under center. Wide out to the near side, one to the far. Flags on the play.
You have a flag on the play. Another updated score from the Northern region.
Got it.
In the Bethel game, of course, the score is still 14-0, but it was supposed to be a game-time decision as to whether Jontel Evans would be playing due to a broken hand or broken bone in his hand. He is not playing.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The Bulldogs over Thomas Jefferson, 23.
So Bethel High School playing very well, thank you, without Jontel Evans, one of the better players, not just a running back, but a great receiver, an all-around player, not on the field for the Bethel Bruins tonight. That bodes well for Phoebus. I mean, for Bethel.
Well, they
do this well.
Now they're gonna wave off the flag.
I thought he just called the penalty.
He did call the penalty, and then he waved it off again. And a player ran off the field, and there is 11 players on the field right now, and they had 12 of them. So I don't understand why. That's twice now they've actually waved it off. It don't matter. They're up 21-0. They have a first and 10 from their own 43-yard line after the turnover. As Robinson, the up back. Here's a pass down the right sideline. Almost. What an outstanding attempt that time by Omen Newkirk. There is a flag on the play, and it might be defensive interference.
It could be either one. This is going to be interesting. Watch the pass. Now, right there.
Oh, yeah, it looked like he may have actually pushed off. Let's see what he calls.
Looked like it might be offensive, but it could be defensive.
Might be offensive. It looked like he pushed off.
Offensive pass interference. Number 2. 15-yard penalty. Loss of down. Second down.
So that's a penalty and a loss of down on the play. Penalty of 10 yards. That'll back them up to about their own 30. I didn't know that was a 15-yard penalty. 15-yard penalty and a loss of down. That was a big penalty, guys.
Second down at 25 for the Phantoms.
Oh, that's a big penalty with a loss of down, 15 yards, and I thought that was only supposed to be a 10-yard penalty. A second down now and 25 for the Phantoms. Back to pass. Looks like a screen pass to Goodwin. It's completed. Makes a move out there. Oh, what a hit. He did not go down, and he's inside or outside the 40. A gain of good yardage on the play that time of about 13. So that'll be about a third down and 12 for the Phantoms. What a hit. Watch the replay.
Watch this. Hit right there, and I thought that was it, but no, not at all.
Timeout, Phoebus.
Phoebus will call a timeout here. That'll leave them with one with 5:28 to go here in the second quarter. Out in front 21-0. Be third down and 12 for the Phantoms when they come back on the field.
He has done a great job at Phoebus, and we see what Mike Smith has done over the years at Hampton High School. Now you're seeing it at Bethel High School again. And I'll tell you, Kickintan, Coach Tidwell over at Kickintan is starting to really build a good program there. So things look really good for the future.
There was a couple of games where Kickintan really should have won a couple of games this year. One of them being against Hampton, and one of them being against Bethel. So that could have turned that team's regular season right around and put them right into the playoffs.
Well, when you really get to see the great athletes we have, the girls field hockey team over at Kickintan, the track teams over Bethel, and I can go on with baseball, Bethel, and basketball is great. So I mean, we've got a great athletic program, and what's nice about it, most of these kids are great student athletes, and that makes the whole difference in the world.
They really do. We have lots of honor roll students on there, on all of the teams, in fact. And when we go over, we talk to them, and they're more concerned about how their grades are than us questioning them about how well they're going to do in the game. They know they're going to do well in the game. They want to make sure they're doing well in the classroom.
Third down and 12 now. Back to pass is Boyd. Over the middle, wide open. Nobody around as it completed to DeQuan Romeo. He might go all the way in for the score. Oh, my goodness. 59 yards.
DeQuan Romero, I'm going to have to change his name for you because you love to call him Romeo. But it is DeQuan Romero. Watch this. I don't know why nobody's over there, but there isn't anyone near him, and he just wins the foot race as he goes into the end zone, and Phoebus is clicking on all cylinders now, Mike.
Be of the rush, be of the pass. Right now, Churchland can't stop the Phoebus Phantoms.
But the Phantoms can stop Churchland after that opening kickoff. They've got Churchland 12 rushes for only 13 yards, 4 completions for 29 yards. They've only got 42 yards in the game.
There's the kick for the extra point. Up long enough, and it is true. 5:17 to go here in the second quarter of play. The Phoebus Phantoms now are out in front of the Churchland Truckers by a score of 28-0. Bang,
Ooh,
bang.
Double bang. And they're getting it from everywhere.
And the score was 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. And there's still 5 minutes and 17 seconds left to go here in the second. What you got there?
Oh, you ready for this? Talk about bang, bang, bang. Last 3 touchdowns. The first one, 1 minute and 18 seconds, score. 40 seconds, score. 45 seconds, score. Watch this. Touchdown.
Unreal.
So there it is. Bang, bang, bang. In less than 3 minutes, 3 scores. Thanks to Mr. Brent Musgrove for those outstanding informational stats.
Our stats tonight are being provided to us by Mr. Brent Musgrove and Mr. Bob Killen, as usual.
And on the field we have
Stadium.
Mr. Bob Hintz.
Yeah, Bob's got to come up with something to say down there soon.
Well, I got something to say about Bob. Bob had a little accident.
Uh-oh.
Bob had a little accident. And I've got some information somewhere on that thing.
Here's the kickoff from the 40. This one's a nice kickoff deep down inside the 10 to about the 6. Oh, what a hit. Number 35, Levante Battle, just absolutely flattened the Churchland Truckers. Number 9, Walente Roscoe, as he just absolutely, watch this replay.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes right here on the middle of your screen. Boom!
Oh.
Wow.
Boy, does this team hit hard in all phases of the game. Watch this in slow motion.
Ooh. I hope he's okay because that was a hard hit, a real hard hit.
So 1st and 10 for Churchland at their own 17-yard line. Roscoe is the quarterback. This time he hands the ball off to Brian Smith. Nothing going there as he's going to lose about 3 back to about the 14.
Well, there's a lot of adrenaline now out there, Mike. Once that offense for the Phantoms gets going, it hypes up the defense because they know that they are a talented unit and they're going to try and stop everything on the field at this time. They don't want to be outdone by the defense. They want to play, and they're going to.
So a loss of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 13 for Churchland, as the Phantoms defense just stifling them right now. Roscoe back in the shotgun, 3 wide outs to the far side, 2 to the near side. They've swapped that up this time. Back to pass, being flushed out of the pocket. It brought down, and he throws the ball away, and I'm not sure that's not going to be a grounding. There was no Churchland player anywhere around. Let's see, the referees are now conferring inside the 5-yard line, and let's see if he's good. What is he going to do? The referee looks like he wants to pull something out of his pocket. Watch it.
Just did get that pass off.
And that's what he's calling.
There.
Ball replaced with a spotty foul. Loss of down. 3rd down.
So they did call intentional grounding.
Right there where you at.
And a loss of down. So that should be half a distance to the goal, since
not just the loss of down, the loss of the quarterback for the Churchland Truckers, number 15, Craig Brooks, has really put the Truckers into a tailspin here, Mike, since he's left the field.
Third down in a bunch, I call it. 3rd down and about 23, actually, as the ball is sitting down near the 5-yard line. It looks like it's a little shy of the 5. 3 wide outs to the far side, 2 to the near. Roscoe back in the shotgun, standing in his own end zone. The snap, back to throw. Little short pass out here to the near side, completed. As he is completed to about the 9-yard line. It was completed, I believe, to number 9. That was Cedric Cradle Jr., coach's son. Gain of about 4 on the play, and that's it. So that's going to bring up a 4th down and long, as the Phantoms now looks like are going to get the ball back again. Giddy up. Back to punt the ball for the Truckers is number 43, Matthew Stanek, kicking what might be out of his own end zone here. Snap is good. Kick is up, and he's roughed on that play.
Yes,
let's see if the flag goes down.
Yes, he is.
They're saying the ball was partially touched and there's no flag down. And this is number 38 on the carry again, and that's Colby Goodwin.
He must have got a piece of that ball since there's no
the
flag
referee
down
was
there.
given the call like it was a partially touched, and because he was hit. Let's see if it was. See if we can see it
right
get hit.
here. Here's the snap. He's got it. Let's see. Right about here's when he gets through.
Can't tell from there, but
yeah, you can see kind of an outside wobble on that ball. Could have
don't
been
matter.
tipped.
No flag was called on
Could
it.
have been tipped.
See you later, Dr. Russo. Enjoyed having you up here.
And as he left, he gave me the halftime score. Remains Bethel 14.
Ranch
0.
All right. So after the return of the punt, the Phantoms will have the ball 1st and 10 from the Churchland 30. Already up 28-0 here. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first half. Entering the second quarter, as it 28 points already here in the quarter for the Phantoms. Hands the ball off to Austin. A move to the outside, a move to the inside, and he gets 11 yards down to the 19.
A move to the left, a move to the right. They follow the blocker, and here I am. And folks, watch this young man run. We enjoyed him last year. We enjoy him this year. Look at the blocks out front from number 70 and number 25 on the Phantoms. That is Chaz Robinson. And I'll get number 70 for you here in just a minute. I didn't have him on my other sheet. That is Micah Blakely. All Austin has to do is follow it. Of course, we know we've seen him enough that when he finds that seam, he's gone.
There's Austin again, this time to the left, inside the 15, down near the 14. Give him a gain of about 5 of play. Just add 5 more yards to his total. He's got to be getting close to 150 yards already here in the first half.
Well, he had, 126 a little while ago with 2 TDs. And
And he's got 15
got
yards
easily,
just in the last
yeah.
2 carries, and that's not including the ones he had before after we got that last report. So impressive running so far tonight for Sean Austin, as he really has picked it up here in the latter half of the season as far as his yardage is concerned.
He has. He's averaging 130.7 yards per game, 1,307 on the season.
Back to pass is it's intercepted in the end zone, brought out, and he is tackled at about the 8-yard line. And I believe the interception was done by number 5, Marvell Edmondson.
Now that was a great move by Churchland's defensive player, Marvell Edmondson. Watch him come in here and just stick that ball. It was headed into the end zone for a touchdown, and he just grabbed that thing. Good play.
The
by
intended receiver was Markel Wilkins in the end zone. The ball had it been thrown just a tad sooner, it would have been 6. But great defensive play that time.
He's probably standing over there now going, I had that ball.
But he was getting ready for the ball to come in, and all of a sudden the boy reaches up and grabs it, intercepts it, and actually carries it out. He would have been smart to drop down right there in the end zone.
But I didn't understand that. But that's
anytime you intercept the ball, you want to try to run it back. But he gets tackled by the Phantoms at looks like the 8. Back to pass. Overthrown to the intended receiver. The intended receiver was number 7, Chris Conley. Incomplete pass brings up 2nd down and 10. Ball still sits at the Phantoms 8-yard line, or the Churchland 8-yard line.
And Mike, we've got another halftime score. Oscar Smith 13 and Woodside 7 at the half.
That's
very tight score there between Oscar Smith and Woodside.
That's number 2 against number 7 in the Division 6 seedings.
I believe that's correct. Yes.
So our number 17 from the Peninsula District is doing quite well against the Division 6 team that is one of the top teams in the state in Oscar Smith. In the shotgun as the clock is stopped at 2:01 to go. Back to pass. Over the middle. And it's intercepted by number 12, and that's Paul Morant. Inside the 5, down, inside the score. The Phoebus Phantoms intercept another pass, and Morant takes it in for the score. And all they're doing now is just adding it up. Look at this replay as he steps right out in front, takes the ball right down the middle, and scores.
Boom. He just follows again. A nice block by Chaz Robinson right there, and then Morant does the rest of it himself as he gets the last 7 or 8 yards into the end zone. And Phoebus is just playing great defense. A lot of pressure on whoever the quarterback is, and the secondary has just got everybody blanketed.
Crocker out of the hole, and Morant kicks up, and it is good. So the Phoebus Phantoms in a span of probably 6 or 7 minutes have put 35 points on the board.
They are just turning it on right here, Mike. I can't remember the last time we saw them get 0 points in the first quarter, or any quarter for that matter, because their offense just continues to churn and pick up points. As far as points go, they are averaging 52.1 points per game. Just say 52 points per game.
They've scored 35 in one quarter.
We don't know what it's going to end up being, but we do know that after a slow start, Phoebus has really turned it on. And the Truckers are having a tough time. Now, they've got a good defense. They normally only give up 12 points per game.
Remember last week in the season finale against Mansfield, they scored 49 points in one quarter.
Yes, they did. They did.
But they have the power to actually put the points on the board, and right now they're definitely showing it.
But folks, you got to remember the quarterback for the Churchland Truckers, Craig Brooks, is not on the field. We think he's injured. That
one's coming back because I believe that's going to be offsides on the kickoff team for the Phantoms. So back them up 5 yards, and we'll see what happens from there.
That young man on your screen you just saw, we'll wait here a second.
Offside on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Young man we just saw there a moment ago, number 6, just doing a fantastic job for Churchland. Here you can see the offsides. Right at the top of your screen, you can see him. Offsides right there. Good call. Great call.
I still don't see the starting quarterback, number 15, even on the bench.
No.
He's not. They are working on a player over there, but I believe that is number 6 over there, who's actually been their go-to guy tonight, Brian Smith.
That Chaz Robinson there, I can't see the number. It looks like it might be number 25, Chaz Robinson. Not sure.
So they will be kicking off this time from the 25. Looks like they set up a bit different this time. Kick is to the near side here, taken at the 23-yard line by the Truckers. I believe that's number 12 that covered it at the time, Travis McKinley. And he will take it out to the 36-yard line, where Churchland will take over with 1 minute and 43 seconds left here in the second quarter of play, just before halftime. 35-0, Phoebus Phantoms.
From Darling Stadium, it's the Eastern Region Division V playoffs on LSC Local Sports Channel. Paul Rowe along with Mike Hauser, Brett Musgrove, Bob Hintz on the sidelines, and
okay, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 36. Back to pass. And flushed out of the pocket. Almost had him in the backfield. And he will, oh, what a block. Outstanding block by the Truckers' number 3, Devin Patterson. And that saved the quarterback from getting hit, as he is run out of bounds at about the 43-yard line.
Almost had him right there, and I thought they were going to catch him. Look at this block. Woo, that's a tough block right there.
Pickup of 7, 2nd down and 3, as Roscoe again is the quarterback. Ryan Smith split to the right. Back to pass. Roscoe being flushed out. Throws the ball to Smith. It is completed. He's at midfield and falls down right at midfield. But that's going to be good for about 7 yards and a first down. One of the few first downs they've had tonight.
Yep. Brian Smith is just playing a whale of a game. That young man is just stepping it up. I like what I've seen from him.
Minute 23 to go here in the second quarter. 1st and 10 at midfield. Back to pass. Roscoe being flushed out of the pocket. And he is going to be sacked right there by Daquan Romero.
Roscoe dropped in his own backfield for a loss on the foul. Number 7, Daquan Romero.
And there's Mike Smith, part of the stadium crew here at Darling Stadium. Every time I come here, doesn't matter what time it is, early, late, during the game, he's always here doing something. This man is one of the hardest workers on this stadium that I've seen.
Loss of 10 on the play, as they will have a 2nd and 20 now.
Arrow getting in very quickly on that play.
Let's go back to pass. Again, being flushed out of pocket. Rolls to his right. Intercepted by number 25, Chaz Robinson. And he's going to go all the way in for the score. Oh, my goodness.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Phoebus Phantoms do what the Phoebus Phantoms do. They score. They play defense. They know the game of football. I think it's really hurting Churchland. They don't have their regular quarterback in there. That ball was passed directly to Robinson, and all he has to do is go down the sideline.
It was intended for Brian Smith again, and it was thrown behind him and overthrown. And oh my goodness, it's now 41-0, and they are attempting to make it 42. Crocker into the extra point, kicks up long enough, straight. It is true. So we're down to 27 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play. Folks, the Phoebus Phantoms have put 42 points up on the board in the second quarter. It's 42-0 with 27 seconds to go here before halftime. Woo! And unfortunately, in the playoffs, they don't use a running clock.
Yeah, and that might be unfortunate. A few minutes ago, I started to tell a little story about Bob Hintz, but I lost my information sheet, and I had to recoup it again. I had handed it over to my partner over here. Bob fell. Bob fell.
Bob, why are you hanging your head?
Bob, the athletic Bob Hintz, the coach of many, many years, the always in shape, follow me and do what I tell you coach, fell. He fell down. Old age is tough. He was riding a bicycle, and that was part of the problem, folks. He was trying to do two things at one time. He was trying to pedal and guide that bike in the right direction, and it just didn't work, and he fell.
You know the worst part? He can hear
I'll tell you
you.
what the worst part
He can
is.
hear you.
The worst part is that the With Fire Station had to come get him. The With Fire Station had to come out.
Well, the With Fire Station does an outstanding job right here every game.
And they did it for him, too. Stanley Evans, Ray Brown, and Floyd Crouch had to come and administer to him after the training wheels fell off his bicycle. And it took them a long time to get Bob back in the proper shape to where he could call someone to come, get the training wheels and put them in the trunk of the car and get the bicycle and put it back.
I can't wait to hear the repercussions from this.
I'm up here. He's down there. He's injured. He can't run to catch me.
He can still hold that mic, though.
But the nice thing is we're very glad that Stanley Evans, Ray Brown, Floyd Crouch, and members of the With Fire Station were able to help Bob and put him back together. Otherwise, this young man that you're seeing on the field would not be able to be with us today.
You got to come downstairs. You have to come down here.
Wait a minute.
Nobody picked me up. I rode the bike home.
What do you mean, you guys? I'm just sitting here laughing.
Well, you're laughing, Mike. You're laughing, Mike. You're encouraging Paul.
I apologize, Bob. No,
So I want to know how you were able to ride the bike home if you couldn't get the training wheels back on.
Oh, man. What are you driving tonight?
TrainingWheels.com, I hear.
Yeah, that's from Andy.
Yes.
That's exactly. You knew that right off the get-go who that came from.
Thanks, Andy.
Oh, goodness gracious. I had a nice little laugh right there at the expense of Mr. Bob Hintz. Well, folks, we've arrived at halftime finally as the Phoebus Phantoms scored 42 unanswered points there in the second quarter of play, and they lead at the half now. The Phoebus Phantoms 42 and the Churchland Truckers nothing.
You're watching LSC, local sports channel, from Darling Stadium, the Eastern Region Division V playoffs, November the 7th, 2008.
Stay tuned for second half action here from Darling Stadium.
See if Bob can get those training wheels back on his bike by then.
Oh, that was bad. Yes, indeedy. There you go, right there on the screen. The half. Phoebus Phantoms 42 and the Churchland Truckers nothing.
42. And what was the score at the end of the first quarter?
0-0. Oh man, what a second quarter that the Phantoms offense and defense put a show on tonight. I tell you what. Colby Goodwin on the defensive side was outstanding defensively, and on the offensive side, what can you say?
You can say Sean Austin.
You can say Sean
offensive
Austin,
line.
and you can say Sean. Yeah, that's right. There's no doubt about that. The offensive line did an outstanding job doing the game so far tonight. What are you going to show the stats?
Let's take a look at some of the halftime plays that we've got for you from the first half. Some great plays here. The first one we're going to see is Sean Austin off the right-hand side going in for the first Phoebus score.
And wait till you see some of these. Wait till you see some of these hits too.
Now watch this. Back goes Boyd. Wide open is DeQuan Romero. He gathers it in down to about the 10-yard line, where, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You got it. There he goes, pulling into the end zone. Touchdown for Phoebus again by Sean Alston. Now watch this. The young man right here who's going to take the place of Sean Alston next year, playing defense. Colby Goodwin going up and getting that like he's playing center field. An interception for the Phoebus Phantoms, which results in a pass down the left sideline to DeQuan Romero, who's all by himself, goes into the end zone, and Phoebus is stacking the points up at this point. Talk about defense. They played the offense, but watch this. The Phoebus Phantoms. Brian Smith in the quarterback position gets nailed by Dominique Davenport, and that's followed by a great rush by the Phantoms that forced the quarterback into passing to where nobody was and getting an intentional grounding. And then, watch the hit on this. Boom. They are bottling up Churchland. But talk about hits, Mike. Keep your eye on this one. The kickoff to the Churchland Truckers.
And this is the buster
right here. Boom! Now watch again. We're going to slow it down just a little bit so you can see it right there. He is nailed. Going nowhere as the Phoebus Phantom defense has risen to the occasion. And again,
Paul Morant this time.
Playing great defense, picks it off. Watch the block by Robinson right here. And Morant into the end zone. And Phoebus, again, piling up the points on their way to a 42-0 lead at halftime.
All 42 points scored in the second quarter. And that almost matches what they did last weekend in one first quarter against Midfield. This is a team that plays as a team, and any given time, it doesn't make any difference. One of those players will take over, and Sean Alston, especially in the second quarter, just outran everybody defensively. Got to give the credit to the offensive line, though, because they did a tremendous job opening up the holes for the running backs tonight, and big yardage. We'll see some of the yards in the stats here shortly.
Let's point out that offensive line, though. Dominique Davenport, Charlie Jones, Vic Gaither, Antonio Christian, and Jaquan Hogan.
Let's look at the stats for the first half as compiled by our gentleman up here. Look at the passing yards. Phoebus did a really good job passing tonight, 113 yards, but rushing. The majority of those rushes, folks, was by one man, and that was Sean Alston. Look at the difference in the total yards, 283 to 80. Man, 6 total penalties so far, and look at the time of possession. Churchland had the ball for almost 2 minutes longer than Phoebus, and they trailed 42-0. Hey, let's send it down the sideline while Bob's got a special guest down there.
Thanks, guys. I got Robert Johnson, principal of Phoebus High School. You got to be tickled about what's happening out here.
Very pleased this evening. The guys are playing very well tonight. Yeah, started a little slow, but they picked up the pace in the second quarter.
Well, all of a sudden they became Phoebus again, didn't they?
Indeed, they did. We were a little worried in the first couple of minutes, first couple of series of downs, but the guys got uncorked, and they really played quite well, very well in the second quarter.
All right, I want to just talk to you a little bit about student athletes. It's important to be an athlete, but it's also equally important, or more so, to be a good student.
Indeed it is. Actually, it's more important to be the student first and the athlete second. We work very hard to produce both, but when we do have that athlete, good athlete, but he also does very well in the classroom, and you can't ask for any better than that. And we have quite a few great athletes, and we do have those athletes that are very good in the classroom also.
Well, you know, the student athlete, and that's what it means, student and athlete. And I know you got to be proud of this football team and what they've done for the school and the recognition it gets for the city of Hampton.
They go hand in hand. We're proud of our students, those students that do very well in the classroom. And of course, we're even more proud of our football team. They get out, they work very hard. And actually, I use an analogy when I'm talking to students, because I know our football team, they work very hard year-round to get ready. They condition well, they get in the weight room. And of course, also, I try to use that analogy when I talk to students about the classroom. If you work as hard as our guys do to prepare for the football games, they're going to make those A's and B's and those good grades in the classroom also. And that pleases me, that pleases the parents, and it pleases everybody here at Hampton City Schools as well as the Phoebus family.
Well, I like that analogy. Thanks very much for taking time coming down and seeing me.
It's always a pleasure to talk about Phoebus High School and be out here for a great football game.
Thanks again. All right, guys, let's go up to you.
And thank you, Bob. And Bob, if you don't mind, I'd like to piggyback onto that, because he talked about the student athlete. And you have to have the grades to get into the good colleges. And if you're going to play a sport, you have to be a good athlete. Phoebus has 4 players going to Division I colleges, Bob, to Tennessee, to West Virginia, and to Virginia. Taj Boyd, Sean Alston, Dominique Davenport, and Levante Battle. All super ball players, but more importantly, good academic students, good enough to be able to get into top Division I colleges.
Well, here we go to start the third quarter of play as the ball is kicked off and is taken by Markel Wilkins down near his 10. He will get the ball down to about their own 29-yard line, where Phoebus will take over to start the third quarter play. Already out in front, 42-0. And folks, first half for Mr. Sean Alston. 17 carries, 142 yards. I actually thought he had more than that.
Well, he had 170 yards, and he's got almost all of them.
So here we go as first and 10 for the Phantoms to start the third quarter. 42-0 here in the third.
The start of the third.
And the start of the third.
And, folks, if it's anything like the second quarter, don't go away. Keep your eyes on this one.
Hodge Boyd under center. Burke in motion. There's Alston off the right side. Good yards to just about the 35-yard line. A little past that will give him about 6 yards on the carry. That'll bring up a second down and 4 for the Phantoms.
And on that run, if you saw it, Sean Alston goes on the right side, which is a great side for him to go on to. But he picks up an additional 3 yards because as he gets stopped, he saw a little crease to his left, and he just kind of dives right through that for another 3 yards. Very smart running back.
Alston this time to the right side, up the middle. Good yard. He breaks free, gets away from a would-be tackler. Whoa, what a cutback. Nice block on the play. Down inside the 20, and he is brought down by number 5 on the play, Marvell Edmondson. A big yardage right there for Sean Alston.
He gets into the line, he follows his blockers, makes a spin move, gets loose, and just chews up real estate from this point on.
That's almost 40 yards right there. So he's going to be hitting that 200-yard mark here soon, and we're just now starting the third quarter.
That's right. Nice job by Churchland's number 5, Marvell Edmondson, to even catch up with him on that play.
2 wide outs to the far side. That's Markel Wilkins and Omen Newkirk split to the right. Handoff up the middle to Colby Goodwin down near the 6-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 6 on the play. That will bring up a, let's call it second down and 7, as the ball looks like it's going to be put down right at the 12.
My goodness, you give it to Colby, you give it to Alston, you give it to Davenport. You just about give it to anybody back there, and they are just going to town, Mike.
Second down and 4, and then we got to look forward next year to Mr. Colby Goodwin and his running.
Oh, yeah.
You take Alston out, and you just come right back with Goodwin, and he does a pretty good job. Alston off the left side, breaks the tackle, breaks the second, still goes all the way down to the 1.
And, Mike, they packed the box on this, Churchland did, on defense, knowing that Alston was going to get the ball. Couldn't stop him. Look at him packed in there.
Marvell Edmondson on the stop for Churchland. Look at him battle his way down.
He ran over 3 would-be tacklers.
First and goal from the 1 as the Phantoms are threatening to strike again. This time it is Davenport. The elephant play over the left side, touchdown Phoebus.
I tell you,
you go from one that's speed to one that's power.
I don't mean to laugh, but if you watch this replay, Davenport gets the ball, stops right here. He just stops and then says, okay, I'm going in this way. He just jumps right over and in. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at this.
Oh, my gosh.
Look at this.
Dinner is served.
Put that over there.
Thank you, sir. Dr.
We have an injury down on the field right now. It looks like one of the Phantoms is still down. I'm not sure who it is right now.
Let's hope it's not serious at all. While we've got,
Andy said you should have brought him an empty box.
While we've got a short little break here, ladies and gentlemen, the third quarter of this game is sponsored by Eric Thompson Realtor, a Hampton City Schools alumni and former athlete. You can call Eric at 685-3127 to buy or sell a home or property. By Zooms. Once again, David Allen and Zooms are sponsoring student athletes in Hampton. Zooms with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern. Good food at good prices. I know I've eaten it. Bring the entire family to enjoy one of their delicious meals at Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News or at Coliseum Drive and Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports. located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports offers screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And we'd like to thank all of our sponsors this year and for tonight's game.
That was Jaquan Hogan. That was the injured player coming off the field, and looks like he's limping a little bit, but he came off on his own power to be in pretty good shape. Here is the kick, and it's up long enough, straight, and it is good. So 9:39 to go here in the third quarter of play. On the opening drive of the third quarter, what happens? The Phoebus Phantoms go right down the field on the feet of Mr. Sean Austin. You got something there for us?
I do that. You said on the feet. 19 carries that young man has today. 19 carries. Guess how many yards?
Probably right near 200.
How about 204? 204 for a man who averages 130 a game. Phoebus with 49 points. They average 53 a game. What do you think? Will they get near it? Will they get over? What's the over-under?
What are the 2 points away from it?
About 4 points.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Hey,
Mr.
listen.
Look, see that, don't you? Mr. Van Dyke, wishing him all the best health in the world for that young man who has done a fantastic job.
Just for your information,
My information.
Rick Raid is who is seated, what, number 8?
8.
And the Oscar, who are they playing?
Who are the Oscar Smith playing? They're playing Oscar Smith.
Playing Oscar Smith?
Warwick is playing Oscar Smith, yes.
10 to 10.
No. Is it Oscar Smith Warwick's
Oscar
playing?
Smith.
10-10.
Wow. And Bethel still, by the way, leads 14 to nothing at the end of 3.
Wouldn't this be something to have a sweep in the Peninsula District? My
That
goodness.
would be that if Warwick wins this game over there, that'd be the upset of the year.
Oh, yes, it
The
would.
number 1 team losing to the number 8 team.
But not only that,
This game's not over, obviously.
Oscar Smith is ranked in the nation, not just locally. They are one of the top teams, if not, I think at one time they were ranked number 1 in the state.
It's Lake Taylor.
It's
not
Lake Taylor.
Oscar
Okay,
Smith. Yeah.
I thought
well,
so.
They're still
That's-
the number 1 seed in Division 5. They won that, by the way, by 2
Woodside.
100ths.
Yeah, Woodside is playing Oscar Smith.
And they're hanging in there too.
Lake Taylor's up there. Lake Taylor's number 1, aren't they, in the playoffs?
Lake Taylor is the number 1 seed by 2 100ths of a point over the Phoebus Phantoms. Here's the actual response we've been looking for. The starting quarterback for Churchland separated his shoulder on one of the plays early in the first quarter, and that's the reason why he hadn't been in. Here's a pass to the near side. Nice pass is completed, but they're going to lose about 3 yards on the play as it's completed to number 12, Travis McClinley. And great defensive play that time, I believe. Was it number 27 on the stop?
Chaz Robinson, right here. You 25. Can see him. He is so quick, so good.
Yep.
He's right on the receiver, and they're going to get no yardage on that one.
Call that a loss of 3. Second and 13 now is right now Churchland is in disarray. Their starting quarterback that's really carried them all season long has been out since the first part of midway through, I guess, the first quarter. And if you look at the scoreboard, it's showing right now.
It is, but these young men for Churchland are doing their best. Brian Smith is back there. Willant Roscoe. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name.
Do have another quarterback out. That's Cedric Cradle. That is the coach's son back there quarterbacking for Churchland. Back to throw. Nice pass. Oh, and it was completed, and a nice hit out there by, is that Markel Wilson, Markel Wilkins, number 5 on the stop. Completed to number 6 on the play, who has been in almost every offensive play.
I really like this kid. I really like this kid. He's putting it all out there.
And he took a hit and still held on to the ball. 3rd down and 5 after a gain of about 8 on the pass play.
There's some of the nice young fans here watching this game at Darling Stadium on November the 7th, 2008.
Quarterback keeper up the middle, nothing there, and it looked like Brian Smith on the carry. He's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's going to force Churchland into punting formation. And yeah, we need to tell everybody who we got
I just saw the lovely Monique, and ladies and gentlemen, these great shots you're getting. Our production crew today on the cameras: Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. On the crane camera, Monique Bird, the lovely, the beautiful Monique Bird, and Rick Powell. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion instant replay, our halftime man, Mike Nowinski. The camera control operator, Sarah Myers, and we'll be back right after this play to give you the rest of them.
Punting now is number 43, Matthew Stanek. Deep is Colby Goodwin for Phoebus. He will take the ball at his own 27-yard line and comes to the near side, gets a couple of good dandy blocks, forced out of bounds at his own 33-yard line. And this time, Goodwin gets about 8 yards maybe on the return, and Phoebus will have a first down. What's up?
Did I hear you say good dandy blocks?
A good dandy block.
Look
Watch
at this
this
block. There's nothing
Boom!
dandy about that.
Oh, that
That's
was
a crusher
and another
there.
one. Boom!
And if you want to know why Phoebus is so good, it's because they can block.
Could have said a dandy
They
good
can
or a good dandy.
dandy block.
Outstanding. How about that?
All right, that's better. Outstanding block.
First and 10 for the Phantoms. Ball sits right at their own 35-yard.
Won't you come and get me? You don't remember that song, do you? That's
I don't
way
think
before
you
your
do
time.
either.
Don remembers that song.
First and 10 for the Phantoms.
Hermits. Peter Noonan, Hermits.
New quarterback in there for the Phantoms is number 12, Paul Morant. Look at the run by Austin. Well, we won't have to worry about him getting 200. We're going to be concerned about whether he's going to get 300, but there is a flag thrown right there as Austin goes all the way down and scores, but it's coming back. It looks like it might be a holding call all the way back at the 25-yard line. We get to see a replay of that one soon, I hope, and we'll be able to see that. Let's see if we can actually see the hole right here. Should be coming up about 20 yards down the field.
I tell you what, West Virginia is in for some talent.
Where's the holding?
Right.
Yeah, he's calling a block in the back, and he did hit him in the back, but didn't have much of a play.
Right there. Right there.
Ah, there it is.
That's sad because it's away from the play.
5 yards behind the ball. Nice run. That was.
Guess who?
He's going to get by Austin. He's still going to get
a lot of yards.
He's going to get 30 yards on it. So a 30-yard gain, and that just adds to the total yards by Austin. What do you think you're getting ready to do? You can't eat popcorn in the middle of a game.
You watch me.
Back to pass, Morant over the middle. Oh, player fell down.
Oh, man. He had 2 steps on the defense.
Ball was underthrown. Actually, the intended receiver, I don't think, was Chaz Robinson. He was the one I think eventually got his hand on. But the player that was deep back there, let's see who the actual player, who was the one that fell down? Wasn't that Markel Wilkins?
I believe it was number 9.
But he had the defense just beat bad.
Let's do
Second
number
down
5.
10, I think it was Wilkins, as he comes off the field now after running down the field, and I think he fell down, tripped by his own feet, I guess. Second down to 10. Morant pitches back to Colby Goodwin down the right sideline, and he's going to go all the way down inside the 5.
Morant waited till the last possible second to get that pitch. There was just a little bit of an opening there, and he got a good block.
Looks like they're going to mark the ball
Look at this.
7.
There's a nice block right there.
Nice tackle right there, open field by number 5, Marvell Edmondson for Churchland. First and goal from the 7 for the Phantoms. Already out in front with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 49-0. There's the handoff to Colby Goodwin up the middle, stacked up by the line, gets near the 6-yard line, gain of about a yard. What you looking for?
At this point, Churchland has got to be almost shell-shocked because Phoebus seems to be controlling the line of scrimmage both offensively and defensively. They're doing almost everything that they want to do.
Coach Van
Churchland
Dyke
can't find a way to stop them.
Coach Van Dyke down there having a blast on the sidelines tonight.
Well, I hope he is having a blast after the problems he had with the heart. He's back out there on the field doing a super job for the Phoebus Phantoms. And again, we wish him all the best in the world.
Phoebus, the tackle on that play, number 58, Xavier Moore for Churchland. Who called timeout? Looks like the Phantoms called timeout, so that'll give them 2 left here in the second half. 4:25 to go here in the third quarter. It's all Phoebus here at Darling Stadium, 49-0 over the Truckers of Churchland High School.
You're watching LSC, local sports channel, and if you're watching it, you're on Cox Channel 48. I want to get back to the crew, Mike, that we were talking about a little while ago, our crew. We got down to thanking camera control operator Sarah Myers for all she does. Also with us tonight is the production and audio assistant, Renee Camden. The audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse, who's kind of relaxing tonight after the long weekend he had with the Warrior Classic. The director, the producer, the guy that whispers in our ear all the time.
It makes us laugh. Yeah, he'll make us laugh, and nobody has a clue what we're laughing at, right?
Mr. Scott Bowers does a super job in running the TV station and keeping us going up here.
Between Scotty and Andy, it's a lot of fun up here.
I tell you, if people only knew. I'm Paul Rowe, Mike Hauser here on my right, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and our special guest almost every time we're up here, Dr. Rousseau, superintendent of Hampton Schools.
Back to throw is completed to number 25, Chaz Robinson. Touchdown, Phoebus. They haven't even put their arms up, did they?
I haven't seen anybody indicate touchdown.
Well, guess what? It's a touchdown. So the Phantoms will score again. This time, Morant.
Right here to Chaz Robinson into the end zone.
Oh, yeah, that's not
there
even close.
Right there. Okay.
There's the call.
I kept looking down there.
Now it's a 55-0 score, and we're still in the third quarter, folks. 4:19 to go. Extra point attempt.
Nope.
Kick is up.
Oh, man.
Long. True. It's good. So the Crockers' extra point attempt is good. 4:19 to go here in the third quarter. 56-0. I tell you what, Crocker's legs got to be getting tired.
It does, but we have a problem here. We're going to have to call the state troopers.
Uh-oh. Why?
Well, you're only allowed to go 55.
Oh.
You can't go 56.
Where'd Bob Killen go? Where'd Bob Hintz go tonight? We have Bob.
Is there a training wheel score down there?
We gave you a hard time. No, let me rephrase that. Paul gave you a hard time right there at the end of the second quarter, and you got to come back with something.
But, Bob, you have to know this. It was your good friend over here, Mr. Musgrove, that gave me this information about that.
But he didn't tell you all that other stuff.
Yes, he did. He told me this right there. I'm saving it to show it to you.
Now, I want to put my good word in for Bob, because Bob took a lot of hassle from you guys.
Hey, wait a minute. We have somebody else that wants to interject a little bit here.
Was I talking over somebody? I apologize for that. But Bob was really upset, Paul, by your comments. I want to say that. Very hurt by him, really.
He's sitting down there laughing. File agreement. That's it.
Why not everybody else does?
Here's the kickoff short. It will be taken at about the 21-yard line and by. Looks like, is that number 6 again, Brian Smith? And he's all everything right now for Churchland, because right now that's all that they've got that's really doing very well tonight. Brian Smith's done a pretty good job. 9 yards on the carry. And you want to call some of this game, and I'll step off to the side. Come on,
you guys.
You call the replay.
You all, the team here. I mean, nobody can match you two. So I won't even try to duplicate. I'm just here as a guest.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
But I tell you, you gotta be impressed with Phoebus. As slow as they start out tonight.
Morant's coming off the field. Looks like he's a little shaken up.
You know, I saw Robert Johnson downstairs, and I saw the interview with Mr. Johnson about student athletes, and he's exactly right. You know, we try to really emphasize, and we'll continue to emphasize the fact that while we have great athletes, they've got to be good students. Because if they're not good students, they're not going to go to the schools they want to. And, you know, we've got 2 of these kids going to West Virginia, another one going to Tennessee, probably more going to some very big Division I schools, and it's great to see that they get Virginia, Virginia Tech, a bunch of kids going over at Hampton and so on. So it makes makes us proud. It really does.
Well, it has to, because sports is more than just being physical out there. You have to be smart. And Hampton has some great academic athletes. We always have. We always will.
No, I think, Paul, what it's coming down to now is the expectation that while, as Coach D and Coach Smith, Coach Tiswell, and Coach Bethel Nelson, they're all emphasizing the fact that they've got to be dedicated to the football team or the basketball team or the softball team and so on, but they've got to be good students. And when you have 97% of your schools accredited, and all high schools have always been accredited, shows that kids are performing well in the classroom as well as on the athletic field.
And they have to, because we have a rule in the city of Hampton that you can't play unless you have
at least a 2.0.
At least a 2.0
in the courses, and that's a little bit better than what everybody else has in the Virginia High School Association.
But the nice thing about our student athletes, at least the ones I seem to talk to, it's not the fact that they try to get to that 2.0. They're going beyond that.
That's right.
To make sure that they don't have to worry, because coaches are always asking the players, how are your grades? What are your grades? I need to see your grades.
Right.
And these kids want to make sure that they've got a good buffer there, so they're not just stopping at that 2.0. They're going for the 3.
No, and what's important? Sounds like we got a young man down.
Chris Coley, who was sacked on the play by the Phantoms, Daquan Romero.
And we talked about it. Bethel is still up at the end of the third quarter, 14-0, which is great.
Good.
But Jontel Evans is not playing over there. His hand is broken, and frankly, he's got a 4-year scholarship for University of Virginia for basketball. You'd have to really think, long and hard relative to, his hurting himself there, because a 4-year scholarship is worth $120,000 there.
It is, but look at the coach. The coach is not being self-serving.
Right.
He understands that Jontel does have a future, that he has the academics to go to the big school. He could hurt that young kid right now, and he's putting him first.
That's right.
As well as keeping the team motivated and stacked enough to be able to do the job. And I praise him for doing that, because a lot of coaches may not do that.
Yeah, Coach Nelson is new to Hampton. This is his second year, and he's just done a great job. And, again, building a program over there.
He's turned that program around.
Oh, gosh. And Coach Tidwell over at Kickintan, and, of course, Coach Smith and Coach D. They're really doing a great job.
I understand now where Bethel, the players are wanting to play, and that's something that hadn't happened for a while. So.
Kickintan as well.
And if you don't have the respect of the kids that want to come out there and play, you're not going to be successful. And with the coaches the way they are now at Kickintan and at Bethel, they're bringing the players back where they have been missing here in the past. So that's something that's good.
And Mike, I gotta congratulate the girls field hockey team over Kickintan. This just doesn't go with football. We've got great athletic teams, soccer and field hockey and track and.
Oh man! It's golden.
I want to see that one again.
Wow.
And I'd like to interject in here that almost half of the Kickintan girls field hockey team were students at Jones who I taught. And I am so proud of every one of them.
Guys, look at this hit. And unfortunately, right now, he's still down and he's gotten back up. But that block freed up Colby Goodwin down the right sideline, down near the 25-yard line. And right now, that player is still down, and we'll have to wait and see if he's going to be okay.
He might have gotten a wind knocked at him.
We've had some hits tonight that's just been unreal.
I'll tell you one thing, guys.
Let's look at it again.
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Yeah, we're blind.
It was a good hit.
Screen.
It was a legal hit, but seen about 3 or 4 of those tonight, just like that.
I'll tell you, this Colby Goodwin is a heck of a running back. He is a heck of a player.
He's a junior and has another year to go, and an awful lot of
good for him.
Awful lot of higher educated schools that are going to be looking at him.
Oh yeah.
Glad to see that young man up and headed off the field. We know he's going to be okay.
Well, Phoebus will take over 1st and 10 from the Trucker 25-yard line after the return by Colby Goodwin, and 2:20 to go still in the third quarter. By the way, just to let you know that both coaches have agreed they are going to let the clock run.
And I have to thank both of you guys, Paul, Mike, the great job that you guys have done this year. You guys give a lot of credit to everybody else, but people enjoy listening to you, and they look forward to your commentary. And as silly as sometimes you all are,
we have fun, believe me. There's Morant. Look at this. He'll break a tackle and almost score, but he gets down to the 3-yard line, and he's going to be a good one next year. So, Phoebus is going to lose some excellent talent after this year, but my goodness, they got some good ones coming back. But look at the line. Look how the line is actually just opening up holes to them.
That's where Phoebus has always been head and shoulders above most people, is that front line.
For the last couple of years, they've had the key athletic players to be able to go along with the line, and it's really escalated their game. When you have good lines that can make holes like that, almost anybody like us can get through there, right?
Well, speak for yourself.
No, that was bigger for me, believe me.
And again, that's what I've been so impressed with this year, the fundamentals. The kids really do have a grasp of the fundamentals, you know, the blocking and the hard hitting. And
as Robinson just takes the handoff from Paul Morant, and Robinson goes in and scores, and obviously now they haven't even got to the end of the third quarter, and we got a lot of subs playing now, so looks like we're having a lot of players go in there, so an additional score will bump that thing right on up there.
And Mike, what was the score at the end of the first quarter?
0-0. It was
You
no
caught
score
that too,
at the end of the first quarter. We're not even at the end of the third quarter, and they scored 62 points.
And at the first quarter, Mike and I are looking at each other because we're seeing these two teams just going between the 20s at one another, and we're thinking, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And then all of a sudden the second quarter came, and it was like boom, 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 boom. I don't know whether you heard the stats, but in less than 3 minutes, 3 touchdowns by the Phantoms. The game turned.
63-0. Phoebus now out in front with 1:16 to go in the third quarter. Just a total dominance in every phase of the game. Once the second quarter started, it's been all Phoebus.
It has. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing a great picture on your screen as you watch LSC Local Sports Channel. As you see Mike Hauser over here, Dr. Russo, and then some guy over here.
They don't even give me a seat in here. You know, I've got
that's what I was getting ready to say. I promise you that tomorrow, you coming up here, I hope tomorrow, I will have a chair here for you.
Thank you, guys. I was just praising you, now I'm taking it back.
And we're going to make sure that you have one of these.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
You got to blend in, you know.
I understand.
He does blend in. Look at him. He's every man.
But
soon we might get some scores here. Let's see what we've got. Somebody's going to actually supply a chair. Thanks a lot.
At my age, I need it.
Short kickoff.
You're the youngest man here.
Another hit that was just outstanding. Number 21 for the Truckers on to carry after the kickoff, and that is Jamal Wright. And he might be thinking that he might not have wanted to take this. Watch this hit.
Right
here. Wow. And there's going to be some sore individuals after this game.
Yeah, you know, when people think about the Peninsula District and our sports, particularly our football, they think about a very aggressive, pounding type of football. Hard hitting, if you want to call it that. If tonight is not indicative of how hard hitting the Peninsula District is, I don't know what other game can prove that.
Well, Paul, I mean, you see this when you see Phoebus and Hampton High School play, especially, you see this type of hitting, and that's between two excellent schools. Very frankly, I think Churchland is a good team, but I frankly don't think that they're in the caliber of what we face within our region and or within our conference, I should say. So 63-0, and Bethel's winning. You know, hopefully Hampton will win tomorrow, and then we'll see where the chips fall after that.
Bethel is winning without their number 1 running back, who was, if I'm not mistaken, the number 3 running back in the district.
I believe
Chantel Evans
was number 3. Sean Austin was number 2, and Martinez of Hampton led the district.
Actually, Tron Martinez is 1, Alston is 2, Ray Harris from Gloucester's 3rd, McNeil from Denby's 4th, Jontel is 5th. But Jontel only played 8 games.
But he came on strong at the end of the season, too.
Well, you have to remember, he's also number
1 in receiving.
1 in receiving, I believe.
So that is now the end of the third quarter of play here at Darling Stadium. At the end of 3, the Phoebus Phantoms lead the Churchland Trackers by a score of 63-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching LSC Local Sports Channel from Darling Stadium, November the 7th, 2008. And the fourth quarter of this game is sponsored by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten Director. By Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. They are longtime sponsors of Hampton City Schools and the Hampton Student Athletes. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with some of the best burgers in town. They're located on the peninsula at Park Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. One-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. They're located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And once again, we thank all of our sponsors, particularly from me, Kelly's Tavern, where I've had some food here recently, and it was just simply marvelous.
They supplied our dinner each night.
And it's so good.
Absolutely great. We're sure, basically Sean Austin's not going to come back in the game tonight, right? You would think?
I'm not thinking he's going to.
You don't think he's going to play the fourth quarter?
No,
let me tell you what he did in three quarters, okay? He had 20 carries, 244 yards on 20 carries.
So about 12 yards per carry.
That's almost as good as what Mr. Evans did for Virginia Tech last night, and he played all game. The running back for Virginia Tech last night broke the Virginia Tech rushing record for a single game, 254 yards in one game.
Virginia Tech played last night?
Yeah.
Football?
Yeah, to beat Maryland.
Oh, you're kidding. I missed that game.
Oh, my goodness.
You're right on this, on top of a local college.
There's a pass down the right sideline and double covered on the play as it was intended for the Truckers' number 21, Jamal Wright. Incomplete pass brings up third down.
Watch this nice defensive play right here. Tipped and tipped again. Actually batted the second time.
Defense on the play that time for the Phantoms, number 9, Andre Griffin, along with Omen Newkirk, number 2.
You guys, we were talking down in the hospitality room, and I've been in the business 33 years, have seen 2 state championship teams, football teams, and a bunch of other athletic teams have gone to state championships, but and I didn't see the Ron Curry or the Allen Iverson era, but this Phoebus football team is as solid as you get. They hit hard, great athletes, they play hard, they're well coached. It's just a very solid team.
Churchland will set up to punt the ball, 4th down and 10.
They're a little better than solid. They're what I would call very dominating. And I saw the Curry and the Iverson teams, and they were excellent.
Ball's down by the Churchland Truckers at the Phantoms 30-yard line, where the Phoebus Phantoms will take over 1st and 10. Before I got involved with TV and doing the games here for the city of Hampton, I worked a lot of time over at Todd Stadium with the gentleman over here doing the announcing, Bill Nettles, doing the stats for him, and for, let's hear this. Wow! Bethel is leading 41 to nothing. I thought the last score we had was 14 to nothing.
Ann's battery, Ann Stevens' battery was low.
Well, I hope he didn't get that backwards there. That's a lot of points in one quarter.
Well, they announced a 41 to nothing score, and what do they have there?
Battery low.
Either way, right now it looks as though in the Division 6 our Bethel High School is rolling. Let's watch a replay here.
We just got a confirmation from Dr. Rousseau. Definitely 41 to nothing. Phoebus is really moving out. Well, it looks like the
Bethel Bruins
are going to advance,
and that's good.
I'd be willing to guess that probably the Phoebus Phantoms are going to advance.
Well, you would think so. 9 minutes, and right out about 9 minutes to go here in the game. 63 to nothing. As the Phantoms will continue on offense, that is Paul Morant. As Morant hands the ball off to the Phantoms, it looks like, was it 23 or 33? I could not tell.
Not sure. Mike, I do want to let you know, though, I appreciate the fact that you were able to work in the business. As we watch the replay here, we might be able to see who it is.
Yeah, 33.
And you worked in the football business and everything, and I, too, used to watch a lot of TV before I got into being on TV.
Well, what I was... Good job. What I was getting ready to talk about was the fact that for all those years, I did a lot of games that Iverson did, but I did most of my games during the era of Mr. Ronald Curry. And outstanding is probably not the word you should be using as far as what Mr. Curry did on the football field, as well as the basketball field here, not only for Hampton High School, but also for the city of Hampton and the national recognition that he brought and the Hampton Crabbers brought to the city. So, you know, it's...
We have a correction on the double score. It is double 21 Western.
Okay, they redid it as 21 to nothing.
21 Bethel, 21.
I was getting ready to say, man, did they score a lot of points in a hurry. Well, we had it here.
So let's check that, ladies and gentlemen. I know you're watching this on tape delay, but the score was 21-0, not 41-0. Even though we had confirmation from two separate people that it was 41, it actually is 21-0.
It looks like the Phantoms get enough there on that run to get a first down. And it looks like we have
got a referee down.
Is
that a player?
That's a Churchland player. Woodside's holding their own. They're trailing 27-17 as they just scored. So, you know, that's a number 17 going against a number 2 team. So the Peninsula District is doing well tonight in the playoffs. At 21-7 now, Bethel is out in front. The worst part about this is everybody that we're talking to is going to see this game tomorrow night, and they're going to already know what the score is anyhow.
You know, Mike, you asked about the update.
Hey, 1 second. Bob got something down on the sideline. Let's sit it down there.
I don't have anything down here on the sideline, but I just want to tell you, Dr. Russo's in my corner, guys, so you just better watch what you're doing up there.
Now, Dr. Russo can't hear what you said, so I'll tell him. He says Dr. Russo's in my corner, so you guys better watch out.
Now, Bob.
That's right, Bob. I'm with you, buddy.
I do have to ask you a real question.
Okay.
We understand that you really did get seriously cut.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. How many stitches did you get?
I got 4 stitches in one knuckle and 3 in the other. Just peeled it back.
Right back. So
Yeah.
I don't want to belittle the fact that you really did get hurt. I want people to know that even though we were kidding about this and making fun, he really did get hurt.
But how long did it take them to get those training wheels back on?
I mailed them to your house.
All right.
Oh, you guys are something else, I tell you.
I tell you what, we're all three having a blast up here.
Well, I tell you, this...
Mike, you asked about the update on the turf that we're looking at.
Yeah.
As the game goes on, maybe we can talk a little bit about this. I know some people have asked about it. There was some money that was allocated for Darling Stadium through the Hampton City Schools to put artificial turf in Darling Stadium. We came very close to being able to do that, but we're not able to negotiate an acceptable price. We're hopeful that by this time next year, or at least prior to the start of the season next year, we'll have artificial turf here, budget permitting. But the money's there, and we'll just see how severe the budget is, because it's going to be a very, very tough year next year due to state revenue shortfalls.
Yeah. But like you said, we won't know that until the governor decides what he's going to do, and then it's got to go through the House of Delegates. We'll have to see what they do.
Well, but our kids, you know, all our athletes, may they play field hockey or soccer.
Oh, somebody that wasn't there. Well, a little bit of a mix-up on the play that time, and big loss for the Phantoms. That'll bring up 4th down. It looks like the Phantoms are going to have to punt the ball for the first time tonight.
But, folks, you have to remember, Mike said a little while ago, you're looking at second string, third string. Most of the regulars are being rested right now with a 63-0 score with 5 minutes to go. That was just a little bit of an experience right there, and you can expect that.
4th down and a bunch. Looks like 4th and 25.
Everybody keeps talking about that turf, Dr. Russo, and the people I've talked to recently. It's funny you brought it up, because I've talked to several people. They're really excited about getting that new turf if we can get it in here. And I think it'll help. Most of them were talking about the fact that, you'll be able to play your games because of the rain, and we've talked about that, how it drains real well. The injury factor was another big thing, too. And these are kids. People forget that the guys that are in these uniforms, when we look at them, we just think they're men. These kids are 15, 16, 17 years old, and it's their safety we're concerned about.
Well, you're exactly right. And, what's really interesting, it'd be great to be able to have a JV game before a varsity football game. It'd be great to have a girls field hockey
playing on artificial turf like they do at Virginia Beach. It'd be great to have soccer being played on. So, you know, if this becomes reality, this field will be used a heck of a lot more than it is now, and to give our kids that much more of an opportunity to play on a really good turf that allow them to hone their skills, and that's what we're trying to do.
So the question is, if you participate that many sports on it, how long is it projected to last?
The guarantee that we looked at is anywhere from 12 to 15 years.
Well, the new turf that they've got out now is outstanding. I mean, it looks, when you're running on it, you can see the little rubber pebbles coming up just like it was dirt. So it's a lot softer to run on, obviously, than the original artificial turf, which was actually laid down on concrete. So, I mean, that's where you got all your injuries. So the new stuff being laid down over top of a rubber mat really makes a big difference.
The turf that we looked at, and the coaches really helped us pick it out. You could literally play on it for 24 hours a day, 365 days a year for 12, 15 years, and you wouldn't see any difference.
What about maintenance?
Well, maintenance is, there is actually, as you said, there's rubber pellets that are put down on it to even it out. So when you see a kid run now, and those little pellets jump up, it's to prevent the injuries that you say, Paul. So it's minimum maintenance, but there is some to it.
Isn't there a machine that has to be, and the grounds crew actually have to steam clean it every often to clean it prior to a certain amount of games after it's been
That
cleaned
I
on
don't
it?
know. I do know there is a bit of maintenance on it, but the city pays probably $40,000 to $50,000 a year on Darling Stadium just maintaining and giving it upkeep.
Now, you multiply that by 10 years, it adds up.
Is that like a Zamboni?
Well, that's what I was under the impression, that it was a machine that they had to use to steam clean it to get in. After a period of time, natural turf grass will absorb body fluids and things like that. When you get out there on a rubber field, basically that's what new turf is. It doesn't absorb it, so they have to be able to go out and clean it. And I believe that was one of the main additional costs that involved that particular process. Kind of gotten away from the game here, obviously, talking about a couple other things. That was an incomplete pass. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 13 for.
Well, gentlemen, I know you're finishing up tonight, and thank you for the opportunity again to help out a little bit, and we'll see you tomorrow afternoon.
Well, we've already got the player of the game picked. It's just a matter of passing it over there, so Paul will take care of that. Hey, appreciate you coming up here. Guess what? We got it again tomorrow.
And I'll be back here to assist you guys.
At noon tomorrow, and obviously, what do you got there? No doubt. We will have the Hampton Crabbers, who will be playing host to Indian River. Pass over the middle is complete, and believe it or not, he got enough for a 1st down as the ball is taken down and brought down at the 44-yard line. And one of a few 1st downs that Churchland has gotten tonight.
As we watch the replay, I want to again thank Dr. Russo. He's very good about coming up here. He supports the athletics in Hampton. I've seen him at lots of different games, and he always comes up here to visit us, and we really do appreciate the time to talk to you. And we especially like it when you bring us food and drink up here. That's you can do that at any time.
Run out of bounds, and a late flag being thrown by the. Oh, by the way, thanks for the cookies. I was really trying to tease Paul a little while ago, taking these cookies and kind of bringing them, if they can. I'm not giving it to them. See you tomorrow. Excellent job.
The defense that's in there now for the Phoebus Phantoms over the last 5 minutes or so has really been getting into this game and pressuring the Churchland Truckers. Just been dropping the runners in the backfield, playing tight defense. You know, we're down to 1 minute and 50 seconds to go. You can watch this last play. There's the block right there, and then another one right there.
Yeah.
He had a block in the back and then a late hit.
Hey, Churchland's got a 1st and 10 at the Phantoms' 29-yard line. Back to pass, over the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted right there by the Phantoms. And goodness gracious, I tell you what, the Phantoms right now trying to keep Churchland out of the end zone on a running clock. Oscar Smith now just taking over from Woodside right now.
yards rushing.
Minute and 10 seconds to go here in the game. Back to pass. Short to the right side. It is incomplete. It was intended for the Truckers, number 4, Kevin Newsom.
Folks, please remember as you're watching this game and you're seeing the young quarterback in the backfield there, that is not the normal starting quarterback for the Churchland Truckers. They lost their quarterback, Craig Brooks, in about the first quarter. Separated shoulders, the word we got, and it's been really tough for them to replace him in this game.
30 seconds to go. Pass over the middle is completed out there to the Truckers, number 12, inside the 10-yard line. He's trying to score down in the end zone. The Churchland Truckers are on the board with 20 seconds to go as number 12, Travis McClinney, takes the reception and goes in for the score. Takes care of that shutout, huh?
Yes, it does. And
that's all right.
Nice catch and run by Churchland's player number 12. That is McClinney, I think you said, Travis McClinney.
20 seconds left in the game as it looks like the Churchland will try to attempt to put the extra point on the board here.
Been cooped up in the truck too long.
You guys been in the truck too long down there. At the kick. No good. Partially blocked by the Phantom. So 20 seconds to go here in the game. 63-6.
So just a little bit of an odd angle. He gets way out front of it. Yeah, that,
he didn't even
ball's
get the ball
gonna be
up
low
in the air.
now.
He kicked that one right into the belly of the guys coming in. A little bit low on that one, so they will get the score. That takes away the shutout for the Phantoms. 63-6. Here are the players of the games. All right, for an offensive performance by Mr. Sean Austin, we gave that earlier. 20 rushes we had him for 244 yards. Did not play in the fourth quarter
at all.
And defensively, Colby Goodwin, what an outstanding job he did defensively. Actually, he did pretty good offensively too. There's Dr. Russo, our special guest up here earlier, down on the sidelines. And 20 seconds to go as the Phantoms will receive the kick.
And real quickly before we get off here, ladies and gentlemen, and say goodnight to you, I want to thank our production crew, the cameras, Nate Braxton, Susan Bowers, Gene Wheeler, and Steve Fryer. The crane and camera operator, the lovely Monique Bird and Rick Powell. The graphics and animation man who's been in the truck too long tonight, Andy Foley. The slow motion and instant replay by Mike Nowinski, the camera control operator, the always lovely and beautiful Sarah Myers. Our production and audio assistant, and she does everything else too, Renee Camden. The audio and chief engineer, Don Scharouse. The director producer, Scotty Bowers. What a great crew, bringing you some fantastic camera angles and shots and footage of this football game on November the 7th, 2008 from Darling Stadium.
Well, we got 11 seconds to go, and I'm sure that they'll just go ahead and crank it up. Probably will not run a play as our referee down there is wanting it started, and there it goes. So the Phantoms really don't have to run the play. So we're down to 7 seconds. They're just going to down it anyhow.
And the Phantoms go where from here, Mike?
They will advance to play next week. Let's go with the final score here. As the final score, the Phoebus Phantoms take care of business here in the opening round of the Division 5 regional championship. In the quarterfinal game, they take a win here, 63-6 over the Churchland Truckers. If we can get Andy to throw up that graphic to show the tournament that's going to be played, or that's being played in the next couple of weeks. There it is right there. And if you look down here at the bottom, Phoebus ended up being the number 2 seed. They played Churchland, just took care of that tonight. They will play the winner of Green Run against Grassville right here next Friday night, 7:30 contest here at Darling Stadium.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching LSC, the local sports channel on Cox Cable Channel 48. from Darling Stadium. If you want to see this again as we replay it for you, you can watch it on Tuesday, November the 11th at 7:30 a.m. and p.m. and on Thursday, November the 13th at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. And you can watch that on Channel 48, Cox Channel.
Again, Mike Hauser along with Paul Rowe, Brent Musgrove, Bob Hintz, and Bob Killen here from Darling Stadium, and the rest of the crew from LSC.
Local Sports Channel. Your local sports channel.
That's right. The final score, the Phoebus Phantoms 63, the Churchland Truckers 6. So long from Darling Stadium.
Good night, everybody. Tonight's broadcast has been sponsored by Zooms. We're proud to have David Allen and Zoom sponsoring us again this year. Zooms, with locations throughout the peninsula to serve you. By Kelly's Tavern, family dining with 2 locations on the peninsula. Port Warwick off Jefferson Avenue in Newport News, and their newest location on Coliseum Drive at Mercury Boulevard in Hampton. And by Tidewater Team Sports, located at 11839B Cannon Boulevard in Oyster Point, Newport News. Tidewater Team Sports is your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidery, uniforms, and apparel. Call 594-0411 and talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. And in part by Beach Hardware, located at 1951 East Pembroke Avenue in the Buckrow Shopping Center. Beach Hardware is your friendly local hardware store with everything you need to maintain your home, both inside and out. And by Eric Thompson, Realtor. Contact Eric to buy or sell a home or property. Give Eric a call at 685-3127 or email him at eric@findhrhomes.com. And by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, located at 2551 North Armistead Avenue, Nancy Staten, Director.